Hey guys, how's it going? We're
How's
so
it going?
thrilled to death that you guys have tuned in. They said it's showtime. Absolutely, it's showtime. It is Friday night. Been looking forward all week to this. I can tell you guys that I feel 3,000% better than when I left this show last Friday night. I closed out my computer screen, practically stumbled up those stairs, laid down in my clothes, and did not wake up until in the morning. I felt so poorly.
Wow.
So you guys are getting 110% of me tonight because I felt like I have to have Dennis back on. I felt like he got shorted. So we'll wait for a few people to pop in, but in the meantime, we're going to introduce you to the extra special guest tonight. We have Josh and Brittany of F3 is how I'm gonna prefer to say it all night long.
We give people the option.
Yeah, it's easier.
That way I won't mess it up. But Flips Finds Fun, super, super fun reselling couple. And I'll let you tell the audience here and all of our friends in the chat a little bit about you while we wait for people to join.
Okay. Well, for us as a fun couple, this is just last month, our 10-year anniversary as a fun married couple. I had been like flipping stuff, antiques for probably about 10 years. Really, it was since we were dating. But I did like antiques, big furniture, stuff like that. We didn't go hardcore, and we'll talk a little bit more about this story for one of our like good times that actually happened today. But February of 2020, I was like, all right, grab 5 things out of the closet, get them on eBay, take the terrible photos, list them wrong, do the shipping wrong. And by the summer of 2020, even in the midst of the chaos and stuff, we were able to take a fully paid for vacation off of eBay money.
Very nice.
Yeah.
And that was the proof.
What a year to start reselling because people had to buy stuff online.
For sure.
Well, it was crazy because you got to remember February, things were open. I was like, yeah, I'm going to do this. March, every thrift store closed. And I was going, I was like, why did this happen? And I thought of some really creative ways, and it really got us through the first couple of months. So,
yeah.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Because like at the time, I guess you were still a full-time pastor, and even like the churches then were, I mean, none of us had a whole lot of direction about where to go. And there was so much unknown that like even the churches were closing down. So like my husband and I are both self-employed. At the time, you know, I was just doing full-time real estate, and he's an electrician. And no one wanted you in their house. No one wanted to like in the midst of, hey, there's this new deadly thing that if you look at someone wrong, you're going to catch it. Oh, hey, would you come rewire my house? So it's kind of like what you said. You had to find ways to get creative and make money.
Now, and it's funny you said that. So the pastor position I was in was an online pastor.
Oh, perfect.
So for 6 or 7 weeks, it was me on the phone 17,000 times a day. My lead pastor going, what do we do? How do we do more services? We had already been doing online, so we did have that advantage.
That's cool.
But we started doing like 4 or 5 streams per week. And I was at home. I mean, I'll say it live. I don't mind. But there was a time that I sat with her and I was like, I think I can't do this anymore. This is
it felt like you were the only one working, you know, because it was your paid position to do it.
And it was very new.
All of the weight of the whole church kind of felt like it was on you for a season.
So, but we got through it. We helped a lot of churches in that process, which was really good. We let them come in and film and stuff like that. But then, yes, with the reselling stuff, I was using my neighborhood app. If anybody knows what that is, I was like, who needs their garage cleaned out? Everybody started working on their homes. I started noticing that people got reflective for, I'm going to clean the garage out, the shed out.
Yeah.
You know, I'm going to get the attic. And I was like,
this room that we've never painted.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I was like, who's getting rid of stuff? And actually my next door neighbor, I bought out all of his old tool sets. You know, it was just, we got innovative. I helped people move and they gave me stuff. Like we got creative. So
and it's like you said, like the thrift stores were closed, and not only were they closed to the people wanting to buy things, they were also closed to the people wanting to donate things. So like some people just wanted this junk gone, and I was able to pick up some free inventory that way also. That some of my friends were like, Rachel, I know that you sell this stuff. Just come to my house and you can have it. I don't care what you do with it. I'm like, oh, okay. Like this is perfect for me. Absolutely. Let's say hi to some folks in the chat real quick before we hear a bit more about y'all's story. Dreaming on a Budget was the first one here. I so appreciate that. Angie, we're so glad to see you. There's me telling everybody hi next. And Christy said, hey, now she's missed it the last several weeks. She's had dates with her husband and family in town and much more important things. So I'm glad that she's here this week, though. Trevor says, I've got a ton of stuff to list. Glad for the company. Well, Trevor, we will read the comments out loud for you. Yes. You don't even have to look at the screen. Sometimes I've heard people say on my videos, they're like, I can listen, but you're not, maybe acting and doing things that I can watch. I'm like, my channel is good to listen while you list, because that's what I like to do. I don't have time in a day to sit down and watch YouTube, but I do need someone to listen to. I need coworkers in the background while I list.
Yeah, for sure.
So like I try to put out what I want to see. It is showtime. Let's see. Glad I could make it this time. Thank you so much for popping in. I hope you have an awesome time here, and start preparing y'all stories to tell me about the good and the bad and ugly. Hey, the Hoogs represent. I'm wearing this shirt that you bought me. I swear you guys probably see me wear this all the time on my Instagram and on like my YouTube videos. It's because I wear this shirt all the time.
I love it though.
I just have like a certain uniform, and I like to wear certain things, I guess, until I get sick and tired of them. If you just don't have a YouTube channel yet, well, welcome to watching this. And if you get a YouTube, feel free to let us all know about it. Like to subscribe. Hi, Dad. So happy to see you here. Angela H is here. And Buddy Girl Resells. Hello. I think that's a newer name for me. Do you guys know Buddy Girl Resell?
Buddy Girl Resell.
I don't recognize it, no.
Hello, and so glad you're here.
Thanks for coming.
Super glad to see you. Vicky, glad to see you here as well. The Vaughns, Auctions for You. Hi, Rachel, Josh, and Brittany.
How's it
What's
going?
up, Paul? How's it going, man?
There's good old Paul.
Now, I've set up an appointment with Paul to have him on the show soon, so I'm really looking forward to that, because he's going to school us all in how to have the best weeks ever on eBay, I'm sure. Terry Downs, so excited I found y'all. Oh, well, I hope you mean all of us. I don't know.
Yes.
We're glad you found us too.
Yes.
Hi, Rachel and all from the Cap Guy. Man, I hope that now I don't know if you're still on hiatus from YouTube right now. But I hope that you're enjoying the hiatus that you have taken. I know we all need that, like, sense of calm sometimes. There's my mama. Hello, y'all. Yeah, she's got to be saying y'all in there. Are your parents just your biggest fans ever, guys?
Let's see.
Yeah.
Yes, my dad surprised me. He was just kind of like, and then my uncle was the weirdest one. He just like jumped in a live chat one time, and I was like, "What are you doing here?"
That's
awesome. Yeah,
family's just the best. I spent the last 4 days picking with Commonwealth Pickers. Picking his brain. Is that a good? That's what Paul Philly Flipper says. Yeah, that's
very good.
For sure.
My husband is in here and says, "Good morning, everyone." Wanted to say something different.
I fear the beard, man. I love it.
Yard sales and dreams. I was talking about your reel on Carissa's live yesterday with their super nice guy in that super nice Southern Kentucky yard sale. Just stopping in to say hi. She says, Misha says, hey, Rachel. Yard sales and dreams. Hope y'all are having a great evening. We are always so much better than we could possibly deserve. Carissa says, I won't be on the chat because I'm about to drive, but you're in Cookville. Dang, I just knew she was going to be around Cookville. That's where my husband's family is from. And I was like, I just want to meet up with you guys so much. But well, I hope Carissa and Misha, you guys drive by that huge cross on the highway in Cookville, and they have this enormous cross. I mean, where exactly are you guys at, Josh and Brittany?
If you know where Richmond, Virginia is, we're about 30 minutes south of Richmond, Virginia.
We always learn so much Tennessee stuff. Do you have a connection to Tennessee?
Yes, we both do. So
yeah,
that's where her grandparents met. They were both from Tennessee.
Mm-hmm.
And
I have an uncle and stuff that went there. My grandma, my great grandma lives in Knoxville. So I go back there to visit often.
And then
you drive just like an hour further west than you'd be in Cookville.
Yeah. And then my mom did real estate for a long time, and that's where she was, is just outside of Knoxville.
Gotcha. Cajun resellers hate your hat, so that's cool.
That's always
my first time live with you, Terry. I'm so excited that you're here. hubby is on a guys weekend. Oh, good. Everyone needs like their guys time, their girls time. That's my hometown. Yeah, I told her, Drew, that I just knew if she was headed through, she said she was headed from South Carolina to North Carolina and then through Tennessee. I said, there's not a chance you're not driving through Cookeville. And I wish that I could go meet with you. Misha's writing, so that's why she's getting a chat. Dreaming on a budget says yes. Let's see. Hey Terry, don't want to miss anything that you guys are saying or miss anybody.
Yeah, you got to see Chris's other comment. See that's the good one. That's the one.
The chat jumped on me. Oh, okay. Says well, now we know Rachel's maiden last name, so we can all no. I don't, no, I was adopted actually.
I found, I can't log into my old MySpace, but I did find it. I did find my horrible profile pictures. The terrible song me and my best friend recorded is still on there.
Was it a rap? Did you rap?
No. It was actually, it's a horrible representation of myself.
But will you rap? Is it a testimony?
No. It was in my not so good days.
That's what I'm saying. If we looked up your MySpace, would it be
yeah.
about where you are now?
It's about where you've been in life, not about where you are in life. Yes.
See, on Carissa's live yesterday, that's what we were saying. We somehow got to talking about MySpace, and I was like, please, nobody. I was like, no one could look it up because my name's not the same. And I was like, that's not a challenge to Jennifer Hayes because she'll find it. And Chris was just like, oh, let's look up Rachel's MySpace. So he remembers this. You guys need to stop.
I think I actually deleted mine at some point. So I don't think mine exists at all anymore.
Maybe I need to get in there and pay Tom to kick me out of MySpace.
Yeah. He's everybody's friend. I haven't seen Mark Zuckerberg do that on Facebook.
That's true.
I mean, there's something to say about Tom.
This is so bad. The Hoogs said they love being our coworkers. I love y'all being the coworkers.
The Hoogs are awesome people. And congrats again for winning the bracket challenge.
Yeah,
Hoogs.
guys.
You showed them up. You beat them all.
Geneva is from Nashville, Tennessee. Billy Flipper used the suggestion of promoting listings instead of putting closet on sale. And the difference was amazing. I didn't get to do that this week, but I'm, feeling, like I say, 3,000% better. So I'm going to do it next week. But I love hoping it results in more sales. Yeah, I love that was helping. So I told Trevor we'd be reading the comments. Put your store on higher promoted listings, Trevor, instead of sale. Okay. It has. Thanks so much for the suggestion. All right. OMG MySpace. Y'all better just stop with the MySpace because I'm getting everyone. You let me know. Raise your hand in the chat if you're not scared when someone talks about going and finding your old MySpace.
Yeah. I wouldn't even know what would be on there. That is scary.
I have to figure out who my top 8 were. That's what I got to figure out.
My mom said, no, I felt all 10 plus pounds because I was over 10 pounds when I was born. So she's like, you were not adopted. I was a big old fat baby. Were you guys fat babies?
I was 8 pounds, 5 ounces.
Yeah, I was 8 pounds something.
Okay.
I don't remember what it was.
MySpace is still up, Drew says. Oh boy. Thanks for the videos. We all love making videos. Okay, so tell us then, that's kind of how you guys got started in reselling. So what do you get to do now? Because recently, Josh, you have stepped away as full-time pastor and are pursuing reselling full-time, correct?
Yeah, just a lot of changes that kind of happened. 2021, crazy year, crazy awesome year.
Yeah.
Won't go into the first part, but we started the process of communication about adopting a little boy that we now have custody of. That just happened about 4 or 5 weeks ago now.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
And super amazing. Something that God put on our heart, and we just wanted to really play a role to help this family out. It's not blood related at all.
Yeah.
And the business had been doing well. My wife had gone full time in December. Her job, everybody was working from home. It wasn't going great.
Yeah.
This girl right here crushed it. I think January to April, she doubled our listings, doubled our business. I was kind of like, yay, she can run things. And then it was like, hey, you need to pack up 20 shipments tonight. It was.
Yeah.
Wow.
And so by May, we had kind of hit that lid, and it was, we either needed more time into the business or more space. Those are our two options. And I literally began to hit up friends, like who we were going to hire kind of part-time. I began looking at warehouses. Like, I was like, okay, you know, when you make your plan, so to speak. And I did all this, and it was actually my lead pastor. He goes, "Hi, how's everything been, you know, with the process of getting custody and the business?" And I'm just like, yeah, we're managing everything. It's totally fine. And he goes, "Look, don't ever be afraid if you need more time at home. And if you need any of that, like, you can be part-time here. You can stay here. Like, I'm not trying to pressure you. I just see great things happening with your family." And at first you take that personally.
Yeah. He's like, wait, what are you saying? Are you telling me to leave?
But that's when you take that like big blue pill of humility. And I went back and that's all he said. He was like, "Hey, just pray about it." And I went home and what God really told me was cool. He goes, "Hey, your plan will work really great. I'll let you collect a paycheck working for a church. So I'll pay someone else to work with your wife." And it just like sunk me. And it was like, cool, you can go ahead and earn money to pay someone else to be with your kids and wife. And I was just like, just convicted. And then it was this quick reminder of like, you don't have to get a paycheck to do ministry. You don't have to have a paycheck to love God and love people. You don't need that. You know, it's great. It's a great calling. And
yeah.
I'm going to have it on my life. That was his big thing. He goes, "Can you still help with what we do in online ministry?" And I said, yes. Like this is our church home. This is what we do.
We're not going anywhere.
You just don't have to pay me to do it, you know? And, and so we still help out at our church. We still serve at our church. We love it. You know, like I said, I won't get into it. Really cool story about today, but yeah, it just, now what's different is I get to take naps every day. That's super cool. But I get to work with my wife every day. We get to stop work and play with our kids. And we get to go. Today we got done sourcing and we went to a playground and got ice
cream. I saw you guys at the playground.
You know, that's
I was at the playground with my son. Like, I picked up my youngest, and I live far enough away from the school that by the time I got there and my oldest son got out of practice, I would have just had to drive back. So like on Fridays, we just hang out at the playground. And I'm like, can't do this as another job.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
So the biggest thing that I tell people, and she's seen it too, is people go, "Well, how tough was that?" And I said, well, if you're a faith-filled person, the bigger calling than any mission work or ministry for me, and it's even biblical, it's a call to be a husband and a call to be a dad. Those are way bigger callings in life. And if I would have put those further down when God was opening a door financially and with time, the things that we were struggling with, time we could put into this, how we could manage all this. And he was like, "If I provide all this for you, why would you pick your way?" You know? And
I like that.
It was a really, really cool process we've been now doing since the middle of August. So.
Yeah, I was like, August is when you went full time. So
I mean, if you think about it, like, God has a hierarchy of things, and it's God and then the husband and the wife and the children. It's not like God and then the pastor. No.
Yeah.
We're kind of taking things out of order, and he was like, "Let me fix this for you."
Yeah.
Like you said, he already opened a door and told you exactly how to do it. Like, you would kind of have to have a blindfold on not to walk through that door. And I agree with what you said about, like, you can do ministry. Obviously we should, as the living church, without collecting a paycheck. The first time that my husband and I were youth pastors, you know, children's pastors in a church, they were like, "Well, the paycheck isn't much." And we were like, "No, the paycheck is nothing. We don't want to be paid for this. Like, we just want to do this. Like, put that somewhere else in the church. Go feed people." You know? Because it wasn't, we didn't need to draw that, but we still wanted to give into the church. So I think that's awesome. And I enjoy y'all's channel because obviously I enjoy like the husband and wife perspective of things. I think Brittany plays too much of a backseat role. We want to see more in front of the camera, especially since you're like openly admitting here that she's running things over there.
He's just so much more of a natural. He's always been that way, to just be able to get in front of the camera. And he'll put the camera in my face and he's like, "All right, we're going to film this." And I'm like, I'm the one that I'm like, I need to like prepare. And like, what are we talking about? I need to be ready. And he's like, no, just go with it. So I'm just like,
1,000% my relationship. No. And I have told people in my subscribers have probably heard this story too many times, but like, if we're sitting in a restaurant and you dared me to stand up and sell a coat hanger to everyone in there, I would do it. I don't have stage fright. God didn't give me that. He gave me the ability to people. And so I'll do the same thing with my husband. I'm like, "Okay, real quick, here on my Instagram, we're going to talk about the shoes that we just picked up." And I start recording, and he's like, "What?" I'm like,
no, the playground.
At the playground. Today. We're standing like right next to the slide where children are coming down. And I was like, this is weird. We're at the playground. Get away
That's
from
not weird.
So I was like, go away. Our kids are here. It's fine, But and then that's what we have been working on. We got our GoPro. She's had a few mishaps figuring the GoPro out, but we love doing that perspective. She has an eye for stuff. I took her back to an estate sale I went to yesterday because I knew she would have a better decision-making skill in a different category. So we love having those two perspectives. Justin.
Going to get his black shirt so he can match.
Didn't get the memo?
If you didn't know the dress code tonight, I'm a little embarrassed for you, but we do forgive you. Come back with a Lego shirt on and we'll really think it's cool.
Yeah.
Awesome story. They really enjoy your story. Wonderful. Thanks for sharing. God does call us to a mission and a purpose. Absolutely.
Yep.
And I'd rather be doing what he wants me to do than anything anyone else wants me to do. Because I'm not gonna get there one day and he's gonna be like, Rachel, I don't think you worked enough.
Yeah.
Right.
He's like, Rachel, your decisions were so much more better than mine. They're just so
I'm glad you went.
Kudos to you.
Right. You had great ideas.
Yeah, there's a reason I don't have a YouTube. I agree with you. I just can't go on camera. I don't know. God did not. He places in us different gifts. And where my husband, Brittany, I feel like you're probably this way too, where my husband won't just jump on camera. He will sit and have a 2-hour conversation with a stranger and dig deeper into their life than anyone else they've probably even talked to that week. And they'll reveal things to him. So he's a conversational evangelist, like one-on-one conversation.
Yeah.
And I'm the one that give me a mic in a room full of people to talk to or preach to or teach or.
Yeah. I'm like, he's the talker. I'm the listener.
Or do you find yourself more one-on-one with people?
Yeah, I definitely, if it's the big crowd, I'm not the one. I'm not going to go out there and entertain people and go make conversations. I'm like, this is too many people. I'm just going to kind of people watch. But yes, if it's more one-on-one, then cool. We can have a conversation all day and talk about life and, get deep fast if we need to. But yeah, with a big group of people, I'm like, no, y'all do your thing. I'll just watch.
Yeah. Her spiritual gift is care. She's good at, she's like, oh, I feel for them instantly. And I'm just kind of like, keep moving. Let's go. Let's do this. And
I'm somewhere between you guys.
It's so fun.
Sal's Mercado says Mrs. Flips is the real MVP. That's what I call my husband all the time.
Sal knows.
And that's the thing, the people that are behind the scenes, he's a perfectionist and my husband is. And I'm just like, it's good enough. Let's go. Let's get this done. And it's, it's just my personality. And it's so beautiful the way God places you with people that are very opposite you to accomplish his purpose.
It's very true.
Yes.
It's very true. We say that I think more now, the longer that we've been married, I'm like, we are so different. Yeah. The way that we think and act, everything is just completely different.
And
but
need each other. I need his differences and he needs mine. But so before we get into our good stuff that happened this week on eBay, I did want to talk about another thing that you guys are doing right now outside of being full-time resellers now and the adoption, which is super awesome. But you guys have something that I just ordered that I feel like enough people haven't heard about it yet. So they have recently launched, if you're a reseller, you like caffeine, okay?
Oh, yeah.
There's not a single person in this chat that doesn't like caffeine. And they have launched a reseller coffee. To my knowledge, there's not another reseller coffee that's on the market. Nobody has specially curated something. And someone in our community, this isn't someone coming outside of our community ooh, here's some resellers. Let me put a trendy word on here. Josh and Brittany have created Bolo Brew.
Yeah.
And, okay, she has the back of it right here.
Yes, Bolo Brew.
And it's available in a whole bean and a ground coffee because I don't do a coffee machine. I like French press or a pour over coffee. So, you really need a whole bean. And since I was the one to ask for whole bean, I saw you had it on there and I was have to order this.
You were specifically in mind when it was he said, how do you want to split it? And I was like, Rachel was like, I don't know. I ain't doing that ground stuff. And I was like, we have to get whole bean.
Yeah.
See, if I hadn't ordered it, you'd be like, why did she even ask? So I ordered some Bolo Brew. I'm waiting for it to come in right now, but I just ordered it. But the thing I was surprised about was it's free shipping. If you guys aren't aware, there's no shipping charge for Bolo Brew. And it's an artisanal coffee. Okay. This isn't Folgers making coffee in a big vat the size of my living room. This is one guy
Yeah.
Like roasting these coffee beans. And Josh has a whole video about how this guy creates this coffee.
Yeah.
And so like, I like made in America. I like craft brewery style stuff,
Yep.
you know, like the fact that this guy is like I say, it's an artisanal practice.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm so stoked to get this coffee in. So when I love it, and I know that I will, I'll just hold my breath until you get a dark roast in too.
No, and that's what we're working
We've
on.
had a couple of requests for that. So we're going to see, we picked something that would try to please everyone, so to say, you know, just start with, because we're like, this could totally flop and it would be a terrible idea and we'll never order more and we'll just forget that we ever had this idea.
Yeah.
You can find it on Instagram just with Bolo Brew, right?
Yeah. I think it's Bolo Brew Coffee or Bolo Brew. I'm in charge of the Instagram. I should know, but I'm not.
It's not hard to find on there.
Yeah, it's not hard to find. Yeah, Bolo Brew, you should be able to find it, and that's where you can order it. But yeah, I mean, it's like a medium, like smooth blended coffee, so it'll be good by itself. It'll be good by whatever you want to add to it. But that's been the
coffee this color.
Huh?
That color.
I like my coffee this color.
Yeah, so that's the most requested thing we've had so far, is that people want something a little bit darker. So if this continues to go well and we add two, that'll be the next thing that we add.
We've already thought of 2 more lines, and we're just doing the branding and stuff that we could do a dark roast, and we could even do like decaf down the road if people want it. I'm like, late night listing, you don't want to stay up all night, but you still love coffee. So, and that's the great thing. The guy you're talking about, Larry, with Legacy Roasting, great guy. And the real story of this is a garage-based business that is now, he personally delivers all of the product that he roasts for so many coffee shops in Virginia. Like, he wants to hand deliver it. I love his heart behind it.
Mm-hmm.
And he loves to do it to even just help us out. You know, he goes, I love this idea. You're buying it from me wholesale. And he goes, he loves the feedback too. He goes, I want to come up with the next genius blend that's going to cater to this community, because he's fascinated by what we do. Like, he calls me now and he's like, there's clearance stuff at Target. Do you do retail arbitrage? And like, that's the cool thing. And that's
what you should call the different roast, like the blonde roast and the media. It should be like the retail arbitrage one.
No, we
all night lister could be like
you're
a dark
right there with us, Rachel.
Yeah.
We're you're right there with us. So
I love it. I love it. Like, the more you can integrate our reseller lingo that absolutely no one else would understand, the better. Like, you know, call it 90-day total or something.
Yeah.
Or, you know what I mean? Like,
exactly.
Abel's Treasures wants to know, just getting on here, do you have a link to their channel? I just posted one in the comments in case no one's in there to moderate right now. A link over to their channel. It's a great channel. It's, you know, they're as family friendly as I am. Hey, Zach, Utah and Bot and Gone. Good to see you here. Bama Picking and Grinning is here, working on trying to get him on the channel, but he's got a crazy work schedule.
Yeah.
Carissa said she can't wait to drink hers when she gets home. She's a Bolo Brew fan as well.
Yes, she's got hers. The Hoogs have theirs, and
the Hoogs said they've been drinking it all week. It's awesome. And that elbow cough is supposed to be like a dab, but it always is elbow cough. I think I tried to drop one in y'all's channel once.
Yeah,
because it says elbow cough, and I'm like, what?
Yeah, it's weird because it does not show here. Like this one shows.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that one, I guess since it's like such a specific thing, it just says
it hasn't caught up yet.
So lots of cool things happening this week in the reseller community. I've been, I won't say jealous because I don't like that word, but really loving seeing everyone meeting up at the convention and wishing that I was meeting up with everybody. But maybe I'll catch the next convention. Carissa's been talking about having one down in Texas. And I've been to Texas a few times. I would gladly go back down there, and hopefully folks would go down there so that we could all meet up, because like I want to meet some resellers in person. I think Marcus Dixon Pickens is the only reseller that I've actually met in person.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Everyone else is just online because he's the only one that's close to me. I mean, I cannot think of a single other person. Like, have you met a lot of resellers in person?
There's been
not like, I guess not really in the YouTube community. I know you met Kaiser.
Yeah.
Reseller
on the road. We had a great lunch stop. This guy, he's in Arkansas, based out of there, but he travels, I think, 270 days a year. And like, he just literally lists things in his hotel room as he travels. I mean, he just does an incredible job.
That's cool. I want to do that in an RV one day or live in a van.
I think he's 22 years old and he has enough money to buy his own house.
Yeah,
he's been reselling since he was 16. He's never had a 9-to-5 job.
I'll make sure my son hears
saving money.
Right.
I'm just
right.
And then we've met a few people.
Met like an Instagram.
Uncle Bubba
at Instagram.
A big one in Northern Virginia.
Yeah.
And then there's like Chesapeake Flipper. I've been trying to meet up with him. I've been in Chesapeake the last 2 days. We've met a couple people. We're supposed to go hang out with Kevin. He's also a Virginia native, and he's like, come through the shed anytime. So
I want to go see the shed. I saw Paul's picture in there, and I was like, dang, I wanted my picture on the license plates. I'll bring you a license plate.
Right.
But yeah, so I just keep looking at their pictures, and I'm like, I want to meet people too.
Yeah. I sent Tay a message to say, like, sorry. It was just while we're still transitioning all this, I was like, I can't take a big trip out right now.
So much of our life right now feels unknown. So it's like we can't really plan anything, you know?
Yeah. Cape Cod reseller, my guest from last week, Dennis, is here. Dennis, you're just on time, actually. Not that we just started, but we're just getting into the good, bad, and ugly, because I realize on this show that like it's always towards the end of the show that people really start popping in.
Yeah.
Like my folks on the West Coast, they just got off work.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, you're sitting your kids to bed, but it's 5 o'clock over there.
That's very true. Yeah.
Yeah. We'll have to stretch out intros a little bit. Pardon me. Angelo is here. Greetings, y'all. Wow.
What's up, Angelo?
Such a big support. Rachel will be living in a van down by the river. If I have my absolutely, Dad. Like, I would love to. Look up Guard.
Oh, gorgeous. Yeah.
Gorgeous. I don't know what. Oh, okay. That's a reseller that I need to look up?
Yep. She's in Missouri.
But Missouri, guys, like, because someone's in Missouri, you can drive 8 hours and still be in Missouri.
I know. You told us if we ever get out there to go by Branson, and we just had a guest pastor at our church Wednesday. His church is in Branson.
Yeah.
So.
So they were talking about some friends of theirs that were moving to like the Springfield area, and I'm just like, oh, great. So if you guys go visit them, I still can't see you because that's like 4 hours. That's so far away.
Yeah.
That's such a massive state. To be in my state, you could either drive to Florida and be on the beach, or you could stay in Missouri. Like that's how big of a state it really is. And people don't think that about Missouri. Branson and Eureka Springs are both awesome. Branson is a beautiful town. You know, it's Christian Vegas. The shows are like the cheesiest thing ever, though. I mean, it's bad. Anyway, so Matt Easy is here. Hey, Matt, how's it going? I heard that Matt is like days away from dropping his first YouTube video.
Oh, that's
nice.
Awesome.
Looking forward to that. Terry Down says, I'm in Houston. I would love to meet up. See, Carissa, Misha, there's lots of people in Texas that want to that Texas meetup. Plush has been my top sellers lately. I can move plush, I guess. I'm just not interested in it, and it doesn't move fast enough for me. But I know some people kill it on plush. And Misha sells vintage plush. I have to drive at least 6 hours to leave my state. Yeah. See, I have to drive 3 hours to get on an airplane.
Wow.
Like we're 45 minutes from the airport.
Yeah. If that. Yeah.
Yeah. Better late than never. Hi, all. Joe Dempsey Sales says. Also, no idea how I wasn't subbed, Rachel. I just gained a subscriber.
I love that he figured it out, though. He was just like, I'll admit this. Like, okay.
Right.
When you never know when people have subscriber notifications turned on and they see that you just subbed them. I don't worry.
Yeah.
I would never hold it against you. But sometimes like you realize that someone that you have like an honest Instagram friendship with, and you go to their page and you're like, oh no, I'm not following them. This is so awkward when
I've done that too. I'm like, because if they get that notification, I'm like, I know we've talked for 2 days.
Hey, Jennifer, I'm so glad
Jennifer
Hayes, about you not finding my MySpace.
The best mod in the biz.
Oh, she's just so good.
Chris is a close second, and that's just because of the team he roots for. So.
Oh, let's see. Same 3 hours to all airports. Georgia in the house. Yeah, Georgia's as big as Missouri. Yeah, when you're headed down to Florida, it takes forever to drive across there. And Gino is here. So glad to see you, Gino. Exactly what happened, Joe Dempsey says. Throughout the show so far, we've just been chit-chatting.
Yeah.
But we're about to talk about the good. So You guys tell me first of all the marvelous things that happened on eBay this week, because I know we gripe about eBay all the time, you guys, but the truth is it must be our dream job, or we would not only do it, but talk about it on Instagram and YouTube and try to get other people to do it. So in your dream job, what happened that was good this week?
Let's see. So sales have been consistent, but we had our second largest sale to date this week. I've been a great opportunity, local thrift store. Hey, word to the wise, go make friends with the people at your thrift stores.
For sure.
Also a plus when they go to church with you. So, okay, it's just
you get
they stop on Sunday and they're like, hey, more of the, and it's been graphic novels I've been picking up. And this guy, they're getting ready to move. He's been bringing a stack every weekend. So I've been there every Monday morning buying everything they have. And it was one set of 14 books. Now I paid $3 a book. So 14 times 3,
we said it was
42
like 40
bucks.
Some dollars.
And it sold for $600 for that set of books.
Yes.
How many books was it?
14.
14 books.
So
now, what was the genre and what was the title of these graphic novels?
They're golden age. If you look up marvelous,
like
masterpiece
or something, right?
They basically just put really old comics that you can't find in existence anymore, and they just put them in a hardback format. And so this
was a reprint.
Yeah, it's a company that does all of the older comics, literally from the 30s and 40s.
Sure, golden age.
Yeah, all the golden age stuff. Mm-hmm. And they're just taking some of the legendary ones. And if you get the beginning to end series all together in a set, now the books themselves, we've been selling the one-offs that we find for $30 to $40 a book. We sold 2 of the Luke Cage ones for $100 for the set. We've made, like, profit-wise, over $1,000 in the last 3 weeks. On graphic novels.
That's beautiful.
Yeah. So, and it's been
awesome.
We've purchased 4 weeks in a row. I think we calculated $350 total on what we've paid the last 4 weeks for these books.
Yeah.
But like I said, we haven't even listed half of them, and we're already well into the profit.
These specific ones, I found them. So it's Roy Thomas Presents Planet Comics. It's the complete set, volume 1 through 14.
Yeah.
So I would have walked right past a reprint and been like, oh, it's a shame it's not the original or something. But you're talking about like copyright, maybe 90s or 2000s or something.
Yeah. And the big thing that people do this is if, you've gotten to your seasoned time of life, I won't say older, but a lot of people got rid of the box of comics, but you know what? They still want to pop a book open and read their favorite comic. And it looks more established on their shelf. They got these nice hardback books. Nobody knows they're comics.
Yeah.
So we didn't see a ton of listings, but when they did sell, we looked on WorthPoint. I was like, wow, these are going to move for about 30 to 40. Some books $70 because.
And how much did you pay a book?
$2 to $3 per book.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I think the only thing that really stood out is they have a small little book section at the store, and it's usually like kids books, some paperback books. I think thrown in there, like you could see Marvel on some of the spines. So we're like, oh, what are these?
Yeah.
And then it's like a whole shelf of just these hardback books. You're like, well, let's look these up. And we're like, are you kidding me? Like, these are what books are going for? So we bought like the whole shelf that first time. And then she's like, oh yeah, one of our managers here, it's her husband getting rid of his stuff, and he's just donating it to the thrift store. And we're like, okay, well, if he has more, please let us know. Yeah. And so we've been seeing her at church, and she's like, yeah, he just drops them off on Saturday. We'll have them on the shelf Monday. We're like, we'll be there. We're going to buy them all.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you're talking like $40 invested probably in the 14 that you sold to $600.
Yes.
$600. Now it was free shipping.
Did you send a media mail?
Media mail, it came out to $20 for the whole set to ship out. Yes.
Were you sending the media mail? Did you add insurance since they were media mail?
I did not, only because with media mail, and this is a big, I think, question that I looked up that is a good answer. So comic books cannot go media mail. They have advertising in them. They will get flagged.
Did the books have them in there also?
Graphic novels take out all of, unless it was printed because it had a story on a half a page. Since it's a recopied of the issues inside of a closed book, it is not an advertising piece.
Right.
It's not something you can buy on a newsstand. So they do qualify media mail as hardback ISBN books.
Yeah.
So,
but I am a little bit shocked that you didn't include extra insurance, as USPS is Media mail takes forever, and it just because it's USPS.
Yeah. I mean, knock on wood. I don't want to say anything getting into Q4, but so far
it's gonna get there fine. It's gonna get there fine. Everything.
Everything so far. Like we have not had postal issues.
Yeah.
I just
did you guys sell hot and heavy last Q4?
Mm-hmm. Yes. Yeah. Q4. I mean, we brought in
USPS's roughest time then.
Yeah, yes. and we and thankfully, I think for most customers, we've had one where it was negative feedback that we had to get removed. A person was like, "This took too long to ship," and I was like, "You gave us negative feedback because the item didn't get there when you wanted, you know."
Yeah.
And then they even like later apologized. They were super nice, but typically, like a trick that we do, just a fun trick. Everybody, you know, I say that big disclaimer: run your business the way you want to, please. We actually show 3 to 4 day shipping and handling on all of our sales, but we ship next day.
Yeah.
So our number one feedback is that it arrived even faster than their quoted eBay time.
That's exactly what I've been talking about lately is I have 2-day handling and I aim at shipping the next day. I'm not going to say that I do. There's plenty of days I'll take the entire 2 days, but I have that built in. But to say next day shipping on everything is just not realistic. Again, that's why I sell on eBay is because life can happen.
Yes, big time.
Season time of life. I like your guest even more now, Gino. All books are great in my opinion, easy to list, store, ship, etc. Joe Dempsey says.
Yeah.
That's true. If you find the right ones, I mean, I sold some Stephen King and I've almost made $100 off some first edition Stephen King's.
Big time.
Yeah. We picked up. That was probably one of our first let's try some books. We found a whole box at a garage sale for like $20. We're like, we'll give them a try, and we've done great. We've sold almost all of them. So
and hit up your reseller friends. First person I messaged, Katie Reeds. Katie, are these good? How do I identify if it's a first printing? And she was just like, look for these numbers. Here's what you do. I know you had that experience with the Hoogs. Connecting with people that know
we're here for each other. Like, stop thinking that you're bothering me sending me a message. That's why I have an Instagram.
Right.
Do you guys not love it when someone reaches out to you and asks for your expert opinion on something?
I love it. They'll say, "What?" I got a text today. Hey, when you're shipping shoes, do you do calculated? Do you do this? And I go, "Oh, I charge flat rate if it's under 10 pounds of $10. I mean, under 2 pounds of $10. If it's over to 3 pounds, I go $14.97. I do a flat rate and I use the USPS shoebox. Oh, can I get those at the post office? And it's great when they're not afraid. And that's the other thing. I think a lot of resellers have fear that it's competitive and and it's like, no, I want you to be as successful as you possibly can.
There's room for all of us to win. And like, honest to God, I would not have this YouTube and I would not have my Instagram if I wasn't just rooting for you guys to win. I was not a cheerleader in high school. This is my cheerleading gig. Okay. I want you to win. Joe Dempsey says, don't worry about it. Insurance is highly profitable to whomever is selling it. Almost never worth it. I'm just claiming it arrives in one piece for you. No problem at all. ATL Flipper is here. So glad to see you. I saw Avery's, let me go back and Avery's All In. I saw them up there earlier and I didn't want to just skip over that. Let me go back down to where I was.
What's up, Derek and Jasmine?
Glad to see them here for sure. Okay. Yeah, they're learning stuff over here. That's what I love about the business.
Yep, that's what we're here for.
That's the whole aim of this live chat. I not only want to introduce you to this really cool reselling couple if you haven't already been introduced to them, but more so they have stuff to teach you. And when we talk like this, we're gonna learn things that we never knew before. I'm dropping a Halloween themed video courtesy of FedEx.
Oh, nice.
The only time I've ever had a scare shipping spoiler, $8,000 in inventory lost.
That's a tough pill to swallow right there.
Stomach.
I've been considering changing to 2-day shipping, but I'm scared my sales will slow down. I mean, I'm about to surpass my goal for the year and I have 2-day shipping. They're selling a ton. Brittany's over.
Yeah, I think we have like 3-day shipping and
and guess what? Spoiler, I also don't take returns. Run your store like Josh just said, like you want to run your store. If you wanted to run this business like someone else's business, you'd go clock into someone else's business.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, do what works for you because then you don't have to fake it and like you're just like he said trying to compete with everyone else or run the store the way you're supposed to.
Right.
Rachel's so awesome with help. Thank you very much. I promise you guys, when I hear that someone needs some help, it's sometimes stupid how I'll stop listing to go look up y'all stuff.
Oh yeah.
What are you doing, Rachel? Go on about the
What's
rest
up,
of
Adam?
Hey, Rachel, and hey, Josh. Hey, Brittany, I'm here. No thanks to YouTube not actually reminding me, but I'm here. I know. But, I have mine set to like a daily draft or a daily summary, and I need to change that because I don't get notified when people go live either anymore. So if you have it set on like what is it called? Daily Digest, then it's only going to tell you at the end of the day who did post. Yes, I love the community. That's true. Rachel, I have 2 purses I need you to authenticate. Send me over pictures, Derek and Jasmine, and I'm so happy to help. All for $1. I don't know what it is that they were buying, but my good Cape Cod Resellers Dennis says, my good got a baseball bat in the free pile at the yard sale. Sold it this week for $175 plus shipping.
That's
get
awesome.
it, Dennis. That's awesome. I do get competitive, but I tell myself there's enough room for everyone. Yeah, I'm going to say with what was it? What did I say last video? $2.8 billion that was sold last Q4 on eBay. There's enough room for everyone.
And compare it. All right. This is a number on Just Clothes because it's a nonprofit we worked with early in the year. 5.7 billion pounds of clothes are thrown away every year. Okay. Thrown away that the bins don't even sell at Goodwill, that never make it overseas, that never make it to, the less fortunate. That's how many clothes are thrown away.
The less fortunate overseas don't even want our garbage anymore.
Right.
Yeah.
They're begging us to stop sending our wish clothes over there.
Right.
Yeah.
So don't tell me you can't find things to sell. There's more stuff that hits a trash can.
Sell a tack on potato chip if you need to.
Exactly.
Javelina hips flips. Javelina.
Annie.
Hiya, Rachel, Josh, and Brittany.
Praying for your hubby, Annie.
You know what, Angelo? I'm looking for blow molds too, and one of these days we're gonna find them, brother.
They were hot last year, and people have been like, we get a lot that pop up on Facebook Marketplace, but they're all maxed out price.
Yeah.
A lot of people learned about that one last year. I almost went on somebody's porch to buy one, like off their porch last year.
Will you sell these to me?
Geneva has a question, and she says, did you ever find out if a notice goes out to watchers on eBay when you put your closet on sale? Okay, here's the deal, Geneva. I don't think it does. I polled the community, and some people emphatically said absolutely yes, and some people were adamant that it absolutely does not. And I would ask them, okay, you said yes with absolute assurity. What makes you say that? And no one really had necessarily a reason. And I don't think it does. I think that if they go to their watched item, it's going to show them, hey, now this is on sale. But no, I'm going to just answer your question and say, I'm going to be one of those people to say absolutely not and have no good reason to tell you that. But I tell you what, if you send me your link, I'll watch one of your items. You can put that on sale and then we'll know for sure. Oh, wow. So maybe we'll just test it like that, dear, and we'll be able to tell the whole community. I moved from 1 day to 2 day because USPS wouldn't scan my boxes immediately. That's a good reason as well.
Yeah.
Another link to Flips Finds Fun.
Thank you, Jennifer.
Wanda, so happy to see you here. I haven't seen your beautiful face in a little bit. Let's see here. Oh, you guys have a lot of chat here. Still in the hospital, Jennifer. Well, you need to feel better, Javelina Flips. I better click on the they're trying to identify. Oh no. Well,
it's her husband. Yeah.
Oh, her husband is in the hospital.
Yeah.
Okay. Big prayers going up for your husband. Many designer clothes are thrown away. The designers themselves would rather throw them away than put them on sale.
Derek, if you watch one of Kevin Commonwealth Picker's videos recently, he's buying vintage Harley parts. He asks, do you have any t-shirts? The lady says, oh, we had a bag of them. We got rid of them. We didn't think they would sell.
Yeah.
Like, when I go to a yard sale, I say, where's the bag of old shirts that you didn't want to put out?
Yes.
How many times I have found stuff. That is what you ask guys. Say, where's the stuff that you didn't want to put out because you thought it was so old no one would want it? Because around here, like, nobody appreciates this. If people are like, oh, cute Beatles shirt. I'm like, oh, thanks. This is actual vintage and it's single stitch. And they're like, single who? They don't care. They're like, oh, does it come from American Eagle? Like, nobody cares about vintage around here. That's why I can pick up Levi's for like 50 cents because no one wants them.
Yeah.
So it's amazing in different areas.
Yeah.
And we do have one more win because it happened today, and this is why we do what we do. Okay. And grab your tissues if you need to, because this was a cool one. Well, I camped out at an estate sale last night. It was my first time being the crazy person that gets there at 4 a.m.
You didn't blog about this over on Instagram.
Oh yeah, I did. That was me in the dark in a driveway by myself. Like, I'm the first one here. And I did very well. The video's not out yet. I still have to edit that. Did very, very well. Our biggest purchase we've ever done at an estate sale.
Yeah.
But like I said, we were going to pick up some auction winnings today, about 30 minutes away from this estate sale, about 2 hours from our house. And kind of by chance, we don't really believe in chance, but I said, let me take my wife back by that estate sale, let her look at some of the stuff I passed on, see what she thinks. And, next day, yeah, yes. And the next day, everything gets a little bit cheaper. So that was really good. And I go to show her where I bought this entire rack of stuff. And there's a lady standing there having trouble on her phone. And I noticed she's looking up these little figurines. And she goes, "Hey, could you look this up for me?" And I said, "What did you need to know?" And she goes, "I don't know if I'm getting a good deal." And I said, "Well, we sell on eBay." And she goes, "Oh my goodness, you do? Like, how do you do that? Like, what are you doing?" And I said, "Well, I can look up, what these are. And I can tell you right now by the sticker price, they're not really worth it." And she says, "Well, thank you so much. And is there a way that I can contact you?" And of course, the shameless plug time. You're like, "Yeah, we have a YouTube channel." And she goes, "Oh, you do? Like, I don't want to take up your time, but can you tell me the steps on that decision and what that meant?" And small talk led to small talk. I looked stuff up for her. She was just having trouble with her phone. And she goes, "What did you get started with?" I said, "I watched 4 or 5 channels and I studied and I learned, and I didn't invest money. I would go home and find junk in your closet and try to sell it just to get all the troubled things, out of the way. The bad shipping decisions, the terrible photos, get all that out of the way. Don't spend money and do that stuff."
Sure.
And she goes, "Well, one of my reasons for doing this, I have a son with Down syndrome." And she goes, "I don't know if people would judge me, if I got on YouTube, and I really would want to kind of start that venture." And I said, "No, ma'am." I was like, "It's one of the most supportive communities we've been part of. It's one of the most loving communities that everybody has their unique thing about them." And I said, you can speak volumes into living a way of life that I can't even speak into.
Right.
And then she just begins to weep. She just goes, "I was struggling. I've seen videos. I've learned. I wanted to learn how to do this. And this is my first estate sale. I didn't know what I was doing." And she goes, "And you walked up to me and you were kind to me and you wanted to just show support." And I said, "Nope." Her name's Crystal. And I said, "Yes, Crystal." I was like, "Please know, like, go watch these people. These are great people.
Yeah.
Go learn as much as you can and don't be afraid. Don't worry about this." I was like, "You're doing great. You're trying now." I was like, "Don't buy this stuff. Go do some good learning." And I said, and I put her on to Think Media, a great YouTube channel to teach you beginner tips and tricks. And I said, and then turn the camera on and share your story. Just share your story. I said, people will choose right then and there whether they're going to love you or hate you, and you don't have to worry about the haters, And then I just said, "Can we pray for you, Crystal? Just you and your son and your family, and how you're going to do this." And, gave her my info. I said, "Please ask questions. Whatever you have to do." And for me, that was bigger than anything we could have purchased all week.
Like bigger than your $600 flip, for sure.
Yes, way bigger win.
Like you actually poured into someone's life there that might have felt like, what am I even doing with my life?
This world, like you said, wants to remind you of all the terrible things and push you down. There's not many opportunities that we get to pour into people and show them that they can do this, So it was that's a personal win for me. Personal win.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I agree with you. I don't think it was like happenstance that you like God put you there because she needed someone to actually feed feed her there that I hope that we see Crystal. I hope whenever she pops in, we know.
We told her, like, come subscribe, like, leave a comment on the channel so we can find you and help you.
Like, there's so much good. It's just like eBay. Yeah, there's a lot of bad things that might happen. Right. There's so much good. I blink and miss it. I don't care. This video probably already has a thumbs down. I don't even care because I get to sit here and chit chat with my friends on a Friday night and like hear about everyone's amazing weeks and that we're all winning in Q4. Like, I have less stress now in my life doing this and working 2 jobs, eBay and YouTube both. Poshmark in there too, but I have less stress doing this than any job I've ever had in my life.
Absolutely.
And very much so.
I hope that, that's what Christy says. This whole community has changed my life. Everyone agrees 100%. That, I mean, that's why y'all are so blessed. Yeah, the fact that you even let God interrupt your day and get to talk to this lady is, that's awesome.
Yeah, I love it. Super sweet lady. And just, you know,
if you end up finding like who she winds up being on YouTube or on Instagram, make sure that we know.
Oh, big time. And that's what she goes, how did you pick your name? I was like, trust me, I made it more confusing. Nobody knows how to say it right. I said,
you ever wonder like, oh, should I just change it to F3? Should I like, see, I wondered, what should my name be? And I was like, nope, my mama done picked it.
Yeah.
Rachel.
Yeah.
Because I don't know. I don't want to like I have kind of a confusing email address and I was trying to be like kind of quirky and go along with the business I was in. And I regretted every time I have to give it to someone, I have to tell them no fewer than 7 times what my email address is. And I didn't want to make the same mistake with something that I can see myself doing the rest of my life.
Right.
So that's awesome. I like your second good thing even better than your first one. The first one is incredible, but the second one is like, I don't know, just in this world right now, I feel like more than physically, people struggle a lot mentally with not just mental illness, but with just like feeling their value and their self-worth. And if you can pour into someone in any way, sometimes that's offering someone a smile, that's offering to help somebody. Like if you know what people need, instead of saying, how can I help? Do what Josh did and just stop and help somebody and then like, lift them up. You lifted her up, you know?
Yeah. We make the challenge. We just tell people, we say it at the end of every video, we hope we can make the world a better place with a sale and a smile. Like that smile, be a hope dealer, if nothing else. Stop and smile to somebody, like wave. Blow their mind with kindness. Like that's something that can rock someone's world. And that's the best encouragement I can give people. Just, hey, go smile to somebody. Like pull your mask down if you're wearing a mask and smile. Like just shock them and smile.
Yeah. And see, I like comments like this. Find myself smiling as I watch you guys. Like I don't want people to leave my videos feeling worse than when they came in.
Oh yeah.
I love it when people say, oh my gosh, I watched your video today and you talk so fast and I was so encouraged and I just went and listened to 5 things. I'm like, yay. I'm glad that we can do this. Donatella, we're so glad to see you here.
Yes. And I saw Anfisa in there too. What's up, Anfisa?
Oh, she snuck in.
She snuck in past me too. I try to watch this, but I'm like, so.
I know it's tough. I got my other laptop here. I'm like,
oh, here she is. So happy to see you. Another positive smiling face. Just watching her smile makes me want to smile. A smile can save a life 1,000%. Like I stopped one day because this guy was just on the side of the road, just like sitting on the sign at this busy intersection. And I was like, what if he was thinking about something? Like it's the busiest intersection. And then what if?
Right.
Yeah.
He just wants to know, like, send someone if I shouldn't run out there or something. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I pull over and I'm like, are you okay? And he's like, oh yeah, I was just hanging the sign and I'm taking a breather. I was like, okay, man, I just wanted to check on you. I just wanted to make sure that like we're feeling good. And I don't care. Like I can tell you, even if you're wrong, that 1 minute of like, guy didn't need anything was worth far greater than the pounds of regret that I would have felt had I drove away without stopping to just ask him if he was okay.
And not just that, I think of their perspective where they're going to go home And even if they think it's odd, they're gonna think about that.
Right,
they're gonna
remember.
Somebody didn't just pass by. That was so weird, but she didn't have to do that.
Yeah. This year I randomly found an original Harley motorcycle old gas tank at a garage sale.
Nice.
$4 and sold for $400. That is definitely
there we go.
Yeah. Let me tell you all about my good thing that happened.
All right, let's hear
it. Okay. So I have a video coming out probably tomorrow. I'm really going to try hard to make it tomorrow. Okay. But my oldest son has cross country and we're like 2 hours away from where his meet is. So, I sold something pretty cool. I get, ants in my pants at times and I do random eccentric things. And if you don't follow me on Instagram, you might not know that I listed a potato chip over on eBay because why wouldn't I list a potato chip? Everyone wants to know why. And I'm like, why not? Have you ever listed a potato chip on eBay? Right. Are you using 100% of your listings? Why not list this random pin on eBay?
Right.
Who cares? Like, inject a little bit of fun into your day. And so I wanted to list this chip to show you guys, like, stop being afraid of listing something. It's just like Josh just said, you don't have anything to list stuff around your house, list anything, list the rocks. I live on a gravel road. I got all kinds of inventory out there at the store.
Big time.
Only rocks. So I listed this chip, and it's got a bubble in it, and that's what made it so special. And the question that 98.9% of the people want to know is, how are you going to ship this chip? Because yesterday the chip sold. Yeah. And the chip sold for $46.22.
Yes. I showed it to everyone. I was just like, you can do this.
That is the reason. And I appreciate anyone that bid on this chip, because that is the whole reason for this auction. It's not so that you guys go out. Please, people in the chat, don't go out and buy chips and think that you're sitting on, okay, there's 1,000 chips in here times $47 a piece, unless you have 1,000 friends that are going to bid on these chips. Okay.
Hold on. Brittany, you save the receipt. We gotta return some stuff. No.
The whole goal was just to show you that anything's possible and to have fun in your job, and for a really good shipping challenge for me, because I have shipped fine china across the country to California. I have dropped glass vases from the balcony before, but I have never shipped something as delicate as a puffed potato chip, because, chips are delicate on their own, but when they get that puff, that is, that's thinner than an eggshell.
Yeah, you breathe on it.
Did you do the egg drop method? I heard you talking about that.
That is how my method of shipping came about, was my son developing a way to drop an egg off a balcony, and it didn't break. And that's why I use foam. But so I have an entire video coming out about how I shipped this, and I talk a little bit more about this chip and what I want to encourage you guys to do. But I'm telling you, why not list whatever weird thing it is? And if people laugh at you because you think people didn't laugh at me for listing a chip, you think when I put that chip up for 99 cents 7-8 days ago now, that people weren't like, Rachel Strickland is a moron. Why is she listing this chip? Does it make a pill of difference in my day if someone called me a name about it?
Right.
Probably as much difference as any thumbs down on this video currently. No, because like, as much as I want to cheerlead for you guys, I want to inject some humor into your day also. Like,
have
if
fun.
I can crack jokes, if I can make Brittany laugh over there, like, why not? We just said a smile can save a life. I don't want you to smile. I want you to smile all day.
Yeah, have fun.
Right. I'm not here to make eBay a Debbie Downer thing, although we're about to talk about bad stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Don't worry. We always end the videos on a positive note, but selling this chip this week was just incredible, because I do enjoy selling things. I have enjoyed selling things my whole life. When I was a kid, we used to write up newspapers about what went on in the house. And I would have obituaries if we found a dead bird out in the yard. And then we would make my parents buy these newspapers for 25 cents a piece. And we would wash their car for money. We would put on music videos in the living room and charge them to enter their own living room. I've always been an entrepreneur. I've always wanted to sell things, and there's a business out there. And selling this chip, the point was to show you that whatever entrepreneurial idea that is in your head is not too crazy. It's not as crazy as selling a chip, is it? Like, if I've done something stupider, quit thinking your idea is dumb. Like
Right.
whatever idea it is in your head that you want to be your own boss, yeah, you can do it. There's no reason why you can't. Someone's come before you that did that. And even if no one's come before you, you're the pioneer in this. You're going to do it better than anybody else ever has because you're the only one that's ever done it.
Yeah.
No,
it's so true. And even if it's not eBay, I want to like add to that. Like I will go and buy lemonade from every lemonade stand I see in a community yard sale, and I'll buy everything they offer. I went to one, they had cookies on top of like, they just unwrapped little Debbie cakes and put them on a tray. Way to go, you. Like, that's super smart. And if we don't promote that, it's gonna die. It's gonna let fear drive, and I can't do it. And if we don't crush that now, like, we're not gonna raise the next generation up to be even better than we are.
Yeah. So, like I get my entrepreneurial spirit from both of my parents, and my dad especially is an entrepreneur, and he has always had a different business idea. So my dad, I'm sure he wouldn't care if I told you. I mean, I'm 36, so y'all are capable of doing math. He's probably younger than you think. My dad's 55 years old and just ordered a sublimation printer and is going to start a business. He's 55 years old, you guys. He's never done this before, and he's going to start his business. Whatever idea it is that you think that you have, it's not crazy. You can do it. And I've done stupider things. Okay.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So I believe in everyone in the chat. That's my biggest thing I want to say. So now that we're off on such a beautiful positive note.
I like what Drew said. Can I sell grandma's ghost for more? She could cook. A cooking ghost.
I've seen people sell ghost in a bottle. I've seen rainwater from a Super Bowl sold on eBay. Like, I don't know what the weirdest thing that you guys have seen. You youngins might not remember, but around 20 years ago, some lady sold grandma's ghost on eBay for $2,000 because her son said that he kept coming into his room at night. I wonder if her son got better sleep then after that. Abel, my Instagram is reseller Rachel Strickland. If you just look up Rachel Strickland, then you're going to see about all my runs and a lot about Jesus. You can follow me there. But if you want reselling content, type in reseller Rachel Strickland. A lot of people message me on my personal one, and I'm like, I don't care if you follow me there, but you'll get better eBay content on the other one. I love your videos, Rachel, but regarding clothes, I only sell t-shirts. Clothes seems to have the pickiest buyers and most return requests. Yeah, that's true. So did Rachel wait for the train to go by, or did she turn around? I drove all the way down. I didn't wait, and by the time I got to the other side, the daggum thing was moving.
That's how it works.
Speaking of Instagram stories, I'm just wanting to know if David bought Drew's vacuum or not. Drew Profit Monsters has
he just jumped in the chat.
Oh, he did.
Yep
Okay.
Drew's here.
Oh, there he is. Yep,
that's all I'm really wondering.
I don't answer your question.
I don't see him. Oh, there he is. Yeah, Drew, if you could let us know. I just said I'm dying to know if David bought your vacuum or not. I sold a prosthetic leg while working at a pawn shop to some college kids to drink beer out of.
Those are hey, but prosthetic legs, those are good money. If you can find them
as beer kegs, I'm not sure.
No. It's just, we're not going to get into the weird, quirky stuff.
Sure.
The fact that people with insurances and don't cover things,
that's true.
They will quick, fast, and hurry get a prosthetic leg that, they broke theirs and insurance won't cover another one. I've seen this go for really good money.
Drew's gonna sell all of his family members as good. So I'll have my car by next week, guys.
Yep. But what I love is I want to see all the photos, Drew. Like literally just the whatever plain backdrop it is.
A white backdrop.
Next to the next one that has a totally different description. Like that's what I want to see.
A guy sold an invisible statue for, what was it, like $15 million?
Yeah.
Well, an invisible statue.
Then we get into, is that money laundering? Like, like what's really happening there?
Right.
No, we didn't buy the vacuum.
Drew says David has not bought the vacuum, but I'm going to start making my stories to buyers like that even weirder. So when Drew posted that, I don't know if everyone was responding the same way, but I was like, Drew, please have fun with this guy. Like, again, inject a little humor, guys. You don't have to be so like ruler up your back. Like, this is my eBay business. I have to respond so professionally. Have some fun. They're probably not going to buy it anyway. Just,
That's what I have to remind myself of. So it's coming from like a corporate job where you have to respond perfectly to every email. And then sometimes I'm just respond back and I'm like, no.
Nope.
No.
How many times have I wore it? I didn't. I think it's ugly. Question. I recently went full-time with my wife in our business, and we are curious to know how full-time reseller couples learn to work together, especially separating work from life. That's true.
Well, I think the hardest part is separating work from life, because I think, as all resellers can probably relate, it does kind of just take over your life. Like every part of every day, it's something to do with reselling, especially when it's like right from your phone. Most of the time it's just there. But I think having some separate workspaces are good if you need that time.
That's what Derek and Jasmine said, that they both have their individual space.
Yes.
Yeah, like sometimes we have the shed outside, so sometimes we'll be in there like working together when we're shipping stuff. But if it's like during the day and we need to get listings done, it's like, cool, you can go sit out in the shed and watch or listen to whatever you want to out there. I'm going to list inside here and watch or listen to whatever I want to watch. And we can have a little bit of separation space. And then it's like, cool, we'll come together and have lunch. And I'm like, all right, what are we doing for the rest of the day? So
and I would say jot down and I say erasable marker, because you're gonna alter this so many times, but make a flexible schedule. And what I mean by flexible, we work it out to where we have a 2-hour increment to get listing, cleaning, whatever for the
like block scheduling.
Yep. And then we're going to go at this time. We're going to stop. Why? Because it's lunch. We're going to pick up our littlest from preschool, have cool hangout time with him. And then he goes down for a nap. When he goes down for a nap, our other son is in school till 3 o'clock. So that's our next 2-hour window. Now that's your nap time. That's she's going to take a break and clean in the house, or I'm going to start on dinner. We make them flexible to where we can also put stuff down and go, what's our weekly goal, not our daily goal. And
you can also decide you want to go on a date randomly on Tuesday.
Exactly. Let's go get lunch. Let's go do this.
Yeah.
And the reason I say make it flexible is because you don't know, it may rain on a Saturday. Guess what? You're not going to go to garage sales. Can you still do something that is profitable for the business? Or do you want to finally say, I get a sleep in weekend? Make it flexible, but if you do write something down, it'll keep you from being sporadic every day.
Yeah.
Joe Dempsey says sold for $25 after the fella defaulted on the $350 loan. I hope that this guy that pawned the leg owned the leg and wasn't wearing it. Like, I hope he didn't default on his loan and like unscrew this thing. I'm just Trevor has left his listing to come to his screen. Are prosthetic legs very unique to the person? Yes, Trevor, probably. But in a country where you have to decide whether or not you can afford to be sick, you take what you can get.
You make it work.
Yeah.
The ghost that paid for my new car. Okay, that's a YouTube video we all need to.
That'll have a good click through right there.
That'd be great. And this side of the house brings out their sweat, and this side of the house, I don't know what sometimes I ask Drew later, I'm like, what were you talking about? He's like, oh, you guys had talked about it way longer ago. I had so many DMs of people telling me they loved my responses. Well, it was good. I liked it. At first I was like, no, what if he really and I was like, no, this guy couldn't take this too seriously. Already got all the headshots of the ghost.
Get them listings up.
He used all 12 photos for a ghost.
Hi, Wanda. We're glad that you popped in here. If you're she's probably maybe she's still in here. That was 3 minutes ago. It's really tough for some separate spaces, and we have certain responsibilities in the business. That's good. My husband and I don't resell together, but we're both self-employed, so we're home together a lot.
And I think just knowing that you don't have to come in and sit down from 9 to 5 and work on like your reselling. Like if I need to work on some reselling stuff and he's got to go out and do something, like someone's still working on business stuff. Or if we get 2 hours done in the morning and the rest of the day is really crazy, and then we put the kids to bed and then we work on reselling for 2 more hours late at night. Like you can make it what works for you, which is the great part.
And another good tip. So having separate spaces, we're crammed for space in our house, especially with adding another little one. We've learned that. We bought one of the portable pop-up. It was actually for the shed, but we get to break it down and put it on any kitchen table, table. We have a studio light. She does clothing listings on the floor. Like, it's
awesome.
We've tried to get creative with.
You guys are still young enough where that doesn't hurt your back. That's good for you.
I sit on the couch, so I'm not like totally on the floor.
How old are you guys?
I'm a little bit older than you, so
okay.
I got you by a few years.
All right. You're not going to tell me?
Oh, no, I'm 38. Yeah.
I'm 32.
Okay, yeah. Just give it 4 years, Brittany. You won't be done.
I won't be doing that anymore.
Buddy Girl Resells has a hilarious story here. Ha ha ha, too funny. A chip. I listed 30 Taco Bell sauce. Then I forgot about it and threw them away. And then it sold. But then I had to go buy some burritos and get a lot of taco sauce so I could ship it out. I'm glad it was Verde sauce that's like discontinued.
Hilarious.
Yeah.
Or you could just not sleep.
That's true, Drew.
Yeah, sometimes you do that.
Yeah, I've been on some late listing binges and still seen Drew like in comments. So I was like, yeah, I feel it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's not me. I'm like, good night. I'm going to bed. Have fun.
Hey, Rachel, how do you actually save money for your car? I want to save money to buy a computer, but I keep spending everything I make to list more items. How do you separate your money? Oh, Laura, I got so down for a little bit. There was an entire week where I was pretty unmotivated. Pretty unmotivated for me is still motivated though, but I was pretty unmotivated because I was like, I am selling so much and this is not growing because I do this full time. So it's not like this is just a part-time gig and that's money doesn't have to be touched. I have to buy groceries. You guys all buy groceries and know how much the price is going up day by day by day. Yeah. What was one price this week is now 50 cents more per item. You know, so what our grocery bill was pre-March 2020 is twice that now.
Right.
So Laura, I save every bit that I can, but more important than saving towards my car was making more money because it was
true.
Yeah, like it was becoming apparent that I needed the part I was making, so I had to make more than what I needed. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like it's not about how much you make, it's about how much you spend. So take what your threshold is for what you're spending and you need to make more than that.
Yeah.
Your goal is to save.
Mm-hmm. In layman's terms, don't buy a $20 pair of shoes to sell them for $20.
No.
It's the same concept. You know, yes, you need to invest in your business. You also need to invest in quality of life, you know, whatever your quality of life budget is. But you're exactly right. And I think if you want to do some practical things, like make you a money jar, take the cash out. Like if you're bad with a debit card, like do little practices, open a separate account for it. Like, you know, we do everything through a business account and then we send it over to our personal account so that we know business money is this money and this is how we pay bills money. Mm-hmm. So little practices that, you know, you can do. I love this comment right here. This is the time, Drew. If you sell it as like Halloween decor, like it will probably sell quickly. Like leave the dirt on it. Like I'm telling you.
To anyone that's listening instead of watching, my husband Drew says, we need a car. I'll sell a raccoon we buried a few years ago. And we truly did bury this raccoon a few years ago because in the middle of the day, this raccoon was out, which if you live in the country, you know that's not good. They're most likely rabid. And it chased my husband into the bed of his truck. He is in the bed of the truck with like a shovel or something. And he's just like, and my father-in-law was here and tried to run it over.
Oh, wow.
And I'm sorry if we're animal lovers. Obviously, my husband and I are vegan and I love animals and we had to shoot that thing and we buried it. I called conservation and I said, I think this thing before we buried it, I was like, I think this thing might've been rabid. And they were like, well, rabies lives in the brain. And if you already killed it, then there's no way to test it. It didn't bite anyone, did it? Because I needed to know if they wanted to like track rabies in the area. But they were like, nope, it's fine where it's buried and it won't live in the soil or anything.
But just to speak to that again, Adam showed that he sold a plastic skeleton pony for $400.
Insane.
What if you sell a real skeleton? No, I don't want you to get arrested.
I guess we'll dig up the stupid raccoon to get a link in. That's why I posted Taco Bell sauce because people will say, oh, I have money. I have no money. Yeah. Yeah, Taco Bell sauce is actually a seller, and they give you so much of it. You could save it, but it's also so good. I made my own cheesy bean and rice burritos today at home, like a vegan version, and I realized that it's their sauce that makes it. So I had a little Taco Bell sauce in the refrigerator, and those things were the bomb. I might make some more when I go upstairs.
Coming very soon to every grocery store. We did this last year. I'll do it again this year. Little Debbie Christmas tree cakes. I'm not joking. $2 a box. I would put 4 of them together for $8, sell them for $40. Like, it's real. You have to remember, across the US, not everybody's getting the same product.
You're right. So not the brownies, the zebra cakes that are shaped like Christmas trees.
The Christmas tree cakes. They make them in chocolate and vanilla. They sell excellent.
So there's going to be at least 40 of us selling them, so y'all don't drive the price down.
Yeah, please don't. And then I saved, I think I still have it, some McDonald's Szechuan sauce.
Oh, yeah, the sauce.
Yeah, I keep those sauce packets, the discontinued ones. Yeah.
Okay, so you guys tell me, we're going to move on to what the bad stuff was that happened on eBay this week. What was something bad that happened? And, we like the bad to be something that you were able to rectify in some way. It was a mistake that not only did you learn something, but you're going to teach me and teach everyone in the chat something about eBay by what bad thing happened this week.
When it comes to eBay specifically, we haven't, this was tough for us. We've done personal business things that were tough, that were somewhat fun, that needed to happen. A big one was, I wish I had the motivation of a Rachel Strickland. Okay, there's this legendary reseller who lists a ton, who looks at her death pile as an opportunity, not a problem. But
see it right now.
We had to, if I had a guesstimate number, we had to take 500 items of our death pile to the thrift store this week. We had to purge our death pile.
See, I call that like the ugly. Like it wasn't pretty, but it kind of had to be done. And we're not talking about like, oh, we only had 500 things in our death pile. Like we have, like the whole shed is basically the death pile.
Yeah.
So we're not hurting after this.
So, and here's the good behind it, how we rectified it. So if you haven't seen Marie Kondo in Whether Things Bring You Joy, mine really wasn't about joy, but I would pick like one item. Let's say,
would you be like, am I excited to list this? No.
Well, I pictured an item in my head that, like, let's say it would make $40. I didn't care what I paid for it, but it was either easy to wipe down, take photos, and list. If I measured anything next to it, not really about the monetary value, but that was harder to fix, harder to find the parts for, needed too much work, or just flat out was a bad buy. We got a lot of stuff for free. We've had people really bless us and bring us inventory. Yeah. And sometimes it just went in a tote because we're like, we'll get to it later. Mm-hmm. So we just really measured it against, something in our head that says, if I'm going to put this down and pick that item, I'm going to keep it in my inventory. But if I would pick this up above this every single time, I just need to let it go because it's just going to keep sitting there.
Pushing it to the back, it's not worth it.
Yeah.
Like that, a lot of it, if we did like bulk buys on stuff, and a lot of it just kind of came with it. And then you find that it's just, once you have so much stuff, you get to a point where like, sure, I can list this and I can sell it for $5 plus shipping, but is that worth my time right now over this thing that I have that I can list for $75 plus shipping? So it's like, okay, it's just going to keep getting pushed to the back. Right. We need the space more than we need this $5 item. So
I'm glad you got to like hand pick the items that you purged though, because that's what I was going to ask was like, did you just have to purge a room to get that space?
No,
we went tote by tote. Like we keep everything in the shed either on the shelves or in the tote. We went tote by tote, and we were like, all right, cool. And then that's the good of it too, though, that came out of it is we got to organize the death pile. So we're like, now this tote is video games, this tote is plush, this tote is clothes, instead of just being a whole bunch of stuff thrown into one tote and you don't even know what it is anymore.
We have a Christmas rack, we have a home decor rack, so now we can even follow the seasons when we list.
Oh, that's good.
So we organized what we wanted to keep, so it got us passionate again about some of the stuff in our death pile. We looked at stuff and we're like, oh my gosh, this is worth $80 and it's
I
sitting
forgot
here.
when I bought this.
Yeah.
I was so excited when I bought this.
Exactly.
Because I never wanted to dig in a tote because it had a bunch of tchotchke ornaments on top.
Yes, that's what I figured out while I was listing my death pile for a car. I was like, wait a minute. I remember being so excited when I found these, XYZ shoes or whatever. But tell me, like, in going through everything, because I know when I had to go through everything, I learned a lot. What was the biggest thing that you learned in having to do this? Because there had to be a lesson.
It did. It told us, it got us passionate about not taking everything that's worth money, but taking things that's worth our time to make money. That's a big difference. And everybody, please run your business the way you want to. If you want to sell $5 ink pens all day, sell 2,000 of them and make great money. You can sell anything, but look at what you value your time. If you want to give yourself an hourly rate or however you want to, we learned when we go pick this up, yes, that can sell, but am I ever going to pick it up and clean it because it's only worth $10? Or am I going to get this new Ninja blender and I'm going to forget about that other item? Now I need to be picky before I leave the thrift store, or picky at the estate auction. I have to just
I have to pick up stuff, Josh, that I'm passionate about, or it's going to end up in my death pile. I won't sell anything that'll make $1. I can walk in my thrift store every single day and pick up 50 things that'll make $1.
Right.
If I wanted to do that, I could sell stuff at Walmart and make an hourly wage. I want to list stuff I'm passionate about. And are you discovering that more as you're going through your death pile, that you want to buy stuff that you're passionate about?
Absolutely. Yeah. We decided, like, okay, if we're in the thrift store or at the garage sale or whatever, like we're not going to pick it up just because we know it has potential to make money. If I know that I'm going to take it back and throw it in a tote and not ever want to look at it again because I don't really like it or care about it. I'm not passionate about it. So why get it to now waste money? I've got my money tied up in inventory that I don't ever want to list, that I'm just going to turn around and donate back to the thrift store.
Is that helping you hone your niche, like what it is that you're super, super interested in?
Big time. Big time. We can... there's other stuff you can be really excited about that you're really not good at too. Like that, and that's okay. Take it out back and shoot it. It's okay. Like, you don't have to be an expert in everything.
Kill the
like Mr. Wonderful.
It's difficult. I mean, it really is. And we make a goal to do 75 listings a week. That's really just 15 a day for 5 days a week. Give ourselves 2 days off to source or do whatever, which we do way more sourcing than that anyway. But we just try to give ourselves a practical, accomplishable goal. And if we make those 75 listings more valuable and more passionate to us, it's not hard to hit that goal, rather than going, I got to get these 15 terrible things listed that, I mean, there's stuff, everybody's got stuff in their store you need to take and kill. Like, it hasn't sold in 360 days. I know. And it's hard.
Yeah. And you're like, I shouldn't have picked this up. I shouldn't have wasted my time listening.
And I think it was Cincinnati Picker, John said it really good. He pointed out a fact that he was pulling all these orders that were going for like $5.20. And I was like, why is he pulling $5 sales? And you were asking that question. He says, I put everything on like a 70% off sale. I'd rather get my $5 back, even if I spent $6 on it, because now I know I can make $50 with this $5. Rather than I spent $2 on this and barely got anything. I want my money back to go make better purchases, because when I bought this, I wasn't as smart as I am now.
Yeah,
it was like a revelation. I was like, here's this guy with a big channel who does pretty good in his business, and he's not afraid to admit I made a bad choice.
And we're all always learning so much.
Yeah.
Well, I love that so much good come out of your bad. I hate that you guys had to get rid of 500 items. And it's funny because when I was listing my death pile and I was listing 50 items a day, and I did that for 3 weeks straight.
Yeah.
And I had so many comments that were like, Rachel, why and how do you have 50 items a day? And I was like, look at your death pile. How many items do you really think is in there?
Yeah.
You would be surprised how many hundreds of items. If you think there's 150 things in there, you're only kidding yourself.
Yeah. For sure. Because when he said 500, I was like, oh, there's no way. And then I was just sitting here thinking, I was like, no, it was definitely at least 500.
It was 11 full totes.
Yeah. I mean, it was nuts. It was
so nuts. You could have listed 50 items a day for 10 days in a row. Then.
Yeah. No doubt. No doubt.
Yeah.
And people were like, how do you have this? And I'm like, you might have this too. You just haven't come to terms with it.
Yeah, because let me remind everybody now that I think a rough estimate, if we're just going by a standardized tote capacity of items, I think we still have I'd roughly say 20.
Oh yeah, I mean we
that are
have
full.
totes in our. I hate to admit it, we have totes in our bedroom. We have stuff in our sunroom, and we still have stuff in the shed. And it's not like we don't list. We have a 1,200 item store. So, I mean, we're listing stuff, we're selling stuff. It's just we've just accumulated a lot of stuff.
Easy, because it's the most fun part in the world is shopping. That's
exactly,
why
exactly.
We don't all do this because typing on eBay is fun. We do this because
right.
I have to point out this comment because I think this is a great bolo. I don't know if they're doing it this year, but Drew Profit Monster says I sold 60 cans of Halloween Mountain Dew in 2019, 2020 for $12 a can.
Yeah.
Mm.
So that would be a huge bolo. Those little Debbie trees is going to be our Christmas tree in the house.
Yeah. That little Debbie ice cream. Okay.
Yeah,
Alert
y'all
people.
see
They're
that?
making it into an ice cream. Just
They
saying.
made it into cereal too. So that's just
Oh, wow.
grosses me
I didn't
out.
see that.
Mountain
Yeah,
Dew.
but Drew makes a great point. Any seasonal theme something, because you have to remember, I don't know if California is getting what the East Coast is getting. I don't know what you're getting.
California's not
in
getting
Missouri.
anything.
Right.
Exactly.
So people want to buy stuff. They just want to buy stuff.
Vicky says her bad is the eBay shipping glitch. eBay has 100 glitches right now.
That's also
Drew's still
true.
digging up bones and promises that that's the last raccoon joke. Team No Death Pile, not possible to offer a friend some cash to spend their time listing.
We actually talked about donating. One of our friends is having a yard sale at the end of October, and we actually thought about even just donating the stuff to her for her to sell in the yard sale. But it just comes to a point where you're like, I don't want this stuff in my house. I
want the space more than the money.
Yeah.
Just take it. Just take it. I learned from it, and just take it.
Yeah, and that's how I look at it. Sometimes I'm like, would I rather have $50 or the amount of space?
Right.
That, from a personal, not necessarily a reseller, but
right. So true though.
Whoops! I learned a few years ago to never eat Taco Bell when working with the Atlanta Opera. I ate some before the dress rehearsal.
Yeah, that was bad, Angela.
Oh, what's that supposed to mean? I list everything I pick up. Drew just does so many bulk buyouts. He can't help that he has a huge death pile, but he lists and lists and lists. He's been killing it listing.
He's a machine. He is a machine.
Jennifer has a super good point.
What?
Hit the thumbs up.
Yeah, I know Jennifer. Jennifer's been calculating. She goes, this many in the chat, and why aren't all the thumbs there? Okay. Even just tell your mom to come in and just hit thumbs up, subscribe, and then it's totally fine.
Dalton brings up the point I keep preaching. I have no desire. If I wanted to clean dirty shoes, I'd work for someone else. Okay. I'm going to leave that to all you guys in your kitchen sinks. All right. Brittany, do you have to get on to Josh for trying to clean shoes in the kitchen sink?
Be
honest.
I mean, we've it's happened in the
guys are just gross.
Yeah.
Dirty shoes, clean them and make the profit. Yeah. That's why they're a good team. He makes the reels, you make the dirty shoes clean. My son's cleaning dirty shoes. If I find some good shoes that are dirty, though, I'll pick them up. I'm like, son, you can have these and list them if you just clean them. I've been slashing prices on all those 365-day. Better to make a buck than toss. That's true.
Yep, very true.
Oh, hey, here's my mother-in-law. Are you charging extra for the raccoon rabies? Yeah, I told that story. Sorry. Oh, PC's frozen. Great stuff, but I have to go. Thanks so much for stopping by. We're just having a good time.
Yeah, thank you.
You guys need to stop sourcing. I'm gonna go ahead and agree with Drew that y'all better, if you just got rid of 500 things, you better both shake hands on a sourcing freeze.
we
just went to the estate sale yesterday and picked up over 100 items of
stuff.
Shut
up.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
We bought out a collection of stuff. So
I'm hereby banning you for the next 30 days from sourcing.
Never gonna stop.
We're doing good. We go with the ants theory. So our garage sales are
coming to
stopping
an end
right now. California is collecting shipping containers. But so we've tried to bulk up because really for the winter between now and February, even where we are in Virginia, unless I go into the closest major city. And I know you've said before, Rachel, you don't have a lot of competition where you are.
Nobody else resells.
Where we are in Richmond, I mean, it's rough. Every yard sale I go to, I have 5 or 6 resellers at.
If y'all see something in one of my videos that I didn't pick up, and I was there 5 days ago, just let me know because I'll go back and it'll still be there.
Right.
Yeah, we'll go back same day and it'll be gone.
Yeah.
No, my stuff's still there. I posted 2 golf bags a week ago, at least over on probably a week and a half ago over on my Instagram. I only bought one. The other one's still there.
No. So we're at
$1. It's $1.
See, and that's the other thing too. I know other people have issues with like their pricing where they're at. When we were like talking to Drew when we were in Florida, I couldn't pay the prices that some of their Goodwills are asking and stuff.
Nuts.
It's tough to survive. You have to source in creative ways.
Trevor, your wife gave you the side eye because we don't need y'all cleaning someone else. You don't even know what someone stepped in. And we need to be cooking dinner and cleaning the family's dishes and whatever else in the kitchen sink. Get people's dirty, nasty shoes out of there, okay? Try living in Orlando. Yeah, I see some of Drew's prices and I'm like, yikes.
Yeah.
The wild west out here. Yeah. No, in the West, in Utah, they apparently have great stuff.
Yeah, that's where everybody donates $100 items every day. Just every day. They just get rid of it. There's like, oh, let me flip through all the Lululemon. Let me just flip through the best one on the rack. How much are they? $2
out there, so I don't really get it. But I do think though they're close enough to some metropolitan areas that some of the stuff, like when it comes to clothes, there are going to be some fakes.
Yeah.
So my bad is kind of like y'all's, like it was my own faults. And I think in reselling, we see that a lot. The bad stuff was avoidable mistakes that we could have prevented had we just not been lazy sometimes. Y'all know I've been like busting my rump over on eBay for the past, since July 23rd was the day I said, I'm trading my death pile for a car. I got to get this car. I had my first 0 sale day yesterday.
Yeah, that hurts.
Here's the deal. I'm going to preface that with you. I mean, you've seen like my huge shipping send off, when I was for like 3 days, didn't list anything. I haven't listed anything since then. I haven't listed anything all week. So you know who I have? Yeah. His eyes got all big and he's like, "You haven't what?"
That's that medicine. It's like, yep, you're taking the medicine.
Yep. What? Like, is this medicine. A hobby? No, I haven't. I have not listed all week long. So I had a 0 sale day yesterday, and you know who deserved a 0 sale day yesterday for not listing all week? Me.
Right.
So I was partially bummed out, but I was kind of expecting it. To be honest with you, the day before, when I sold like 8 items, I was like, "How is stuff still selling?"
Yeah.
Right.
And then so it didn't trickle. It went from like 8 things to
nothing.
Rachel's store is dead. And even after I shipped today, like things didn't happen. So I haven't made offers. I've got like 70 items or something I can make offers on. And I'm not totally bummed out about it. I can say 0 sale day with a smile because the truth is this past week, not only I was feeling a bit ill, but then like I just had this week of time that God kind of called me into prayer. And it's why I was on Instagram a lot. It's why I haven't been YouTube video since my live last week. And God called me to these like 7 days of prayer with him. And that was the most important thing to me.
Nice.
Like we talk a lot about family being the most important thing. The only thing you're ever going to hear me say is more important than my family is my relationship with Christ. And so I'm not bummed out. I'm not bummed out that I took the time off, that I concentrated on other things, because like during this time and talking with him, I just couldn't even begin to focus. I couldn't even watch any of you guys' videos. I would go to try to watch something. I'm like, and I'd turn on worship music instead, or, I'd pick up whatever it was that I felt like he wanted me to study in the word. So, the result of that was a 0 sale day, and I'm not bummed out about it. And that's, I guess, a peace that surpasses understanding. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But I'm telling you that to tell you, if you quit listing in your eBay, you're going to quit selling in your eBay.
Right.
So that's bad, but it was very, very expected.
You gained a lot from it too. And I always like to say, when you have those days, you don't have to be surprised by it. It doesn't have to, you're like, okay.
Right. That happens.
Put that notch in your walking stick. I had my 0 sales day. It wasn't fun. I know how to remedy it, to the best of my ability. I can't control what people buy, but I can encourage,
I could actually offer it for them to buy. That would be the biggest step, is I could actually try to list stuff over on eBay and not be lazy. So
yeah, So good.
But yeah, that was my worst thing. I mean, I don't know. Has it been a while? Probably since you guys have had it. Absolutely. I mean, like I average like most days 7 items, I would say, a day. Some days are more, some days are obviously less, but
I can't remember our last $0 sales day. We've had like a $20 sale day. That was scary enough for me to be like, okay, we got to get lists in because I'm not trying to have a $0 sales day. We sold one thing today for $20 free shipping.
Yeah.
Let's not do that anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, because leading up to August and things like that, with so much of the court stuff going on, we had a lot of family stuff going on.
Yeah.
We were starting to see that. We were starting to see our monthly number trend down. Yeah. And I'm going like, hey, this 90-day total, this is where we like it at.
Yeah. Yeah. And I was like, it's not summer slowdown. I think it's really just like we had to,
but it was the same thing. We had to put it to the side because
yeah,
you look at your wheel of time, you know, you can't create more time. So you have to focus the time on where it needs to be focused. And same thing. So we're actually in the season. It's great that Q4 is here. We are getting a rhythm down, and now we're like, okay, we don't have all the extracurricular things happening.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, Jennifer says I actually had a sale yesterday and I never get sales. And Trevor said, I think the eBay algorithm punishes inactivity, and you do not think that. You know that. That is 100% true. I mean, guys, I could tell you how many times I even opened the eBay app this week.
Oh, and wow.
I am a full-time reseller. It is all I do. And it was just like, I could not focus on anything but this prayer time. So again, not bummed out about it. No. And when I woke up Thursday morning and that was like the end of this like 7 days, I texted Carissa to see how, you know, the reseller convention was going and everything. And she and I talked and decided I would jump on her live real quick. And, I was like, I'll warn you, I'm like super full of joy today. So, you know, like 7 days in prayer with God and like away from the world is a vacation. I can tell you that I've never in my life came back from a vacation more rejuvenated than coming back from like 7 days of prayer with God. So I don't regret it. And I think my store is about to blow up in Q4.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
So, Jennifer says when God tells you to pray, pray. Yeah. I never want to stand in front of God and him say, why didn't you tell me, or why didn't you do what I told you to do? He's he's not one to be messed with. But yeah, so that was my bad, but you know, it is what it is and absolutely as expected. But sometimes over on eBay, we have ugly things that happen. Sometimes it's the buyers that can be ugly, you know, that can happen. Like you don't run into the nicest people all the time. I will tell you guys, if you're ugly, those of you in the chat or those of you watching this on playback, if you're ugly as ever a buyer, you can't control the way people act towards you, but use that as a prop. You can control your reaction to it.
Yep.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Don't let that affect your entire day. It is a moment in your day. It is one buyer. As soon as you're done with that transaction with them, you're done with them. Don't let that deter you from selling on eBay. You know, if it's a person, that's like the small problems. I feel like there's so much bigger that can happen on eBay than just a person problem, a customer issue. Right. But what happened on eBay with you guys this week, that was something ugly.
So, and somebody alluded to it, it's kind of the bad, but the ugly has been the eBay app specifically. The worst time to have issues on an app is during the busiest time.
Yeah.
So we've mandated our store to be that 3-day handling time. We've been dinged probably 5 times this week of listings that have sold, you know, the next day, that eBay has changed it to next day shipping, like, or same day shipping. Mm-hmm. And so that's dinged us a few times.
Yeah. Like we'll go into ship and it's like shipping overdue. And I'm like, this was supposed to ship 2 days ago. They bought it 2 days ago. Right. Why would I ship it?
Yeah. So that's tried to ding us a few times. And then you go through and you go, all right, now we have to make this request in. And then even if you do it through the Facebook page, they're going to go like, okay, thanks, you know, and it's just.
And only allow that so many times.
Right. And it's just a tough thing. There's just been so many transitions that I think are coming down the pipeline with eBay. Even first class shipping that we've been kind of dealing with just we had a pair of shoes that came in at like $17
to ship.
And I was just going, I've never
like a regular pair of shoes, not boots, anything. I was like, I've never paid that much.
So
I agree with you. I've had some going to California, Washington, and Maine this week that I was like, one of them was $17. I was like,
and I was just going, I'm sorry, this isn't my first pair of shoes. I've probably sold 500 pair of shoes. I get even the increase, but I've never seen stuff like that.
It's killing me. This increase, I have felt more than any increase I've ever. Right. I mean, my son sold an empty box and it cost us. I finally, after I repacked it the third time, got it down to $15 to mail an empty box.
Right.
Yeah.
So for me, it's just the ugly truth of you are a little bit at mercy unless you invent your own app. Same thing. Sometimes it's not just people. Sometimes it's things out of your control. It makes us get out of a little bit of a routine to now double check things that we thought we told eBay as a preset something.
Right.
Because I do look at that fact and still go, yes, they're going to lean towards the buyer, but I'm like, we're still paying a percentage on every single sale to them. And there has to be something that there's a request or something. It's just, it's going to be ugly if it doesn't get fixed the busier we get. We can't control the post office, but we should have a little bit of control with
over our eBay
the tool that we're using to make eBay money.
You're right. I wonder if some of the issues you guys are having, if anyone else has ever experienced this, if you guys have, I'll create a draft on my phone. And then when I go back in, certain things that I populated the first time are different.
Yep. Totally gone.
Yep,
so you think that's what happened if you didn't notice it and listed it like that?
No. If you go, so we're part of Harry Tornado's Facebook group. People have been posting photos on there. We went down to look at our watch list and it said we had 0 views. And like, why is that even showing up in the app? There's errors after errors after this last update. People were looking at and their total number listed in their store was 0. Like, and you're like, did eBay just delete?
If I opened up my eBay and it said that, I would have such anxiety all of a sudden.
And even though you can sum that up and go, that's probably an error, I go, this company that's doing very, very good.
Second to Amazon, probably. Like,
and and you're just going, hey, we at least make this tool that we're essentially paying for,
right,
work really well. Otherwise, you're gonna make or break a lot of people's seasons, or make us have to leave ship and go to another one, jump ship. And I don't want to do that. It's a great platform that gets millions of views.
Yeah.
I know there's other sources out there, but it was just like, it's just difficult when you're getting dinged on things that you shouldn't be getting dinged on.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And to piggyback off of what you said about with the shipping increase and everything, we noticed it this last time we shipped some stuff out. We sold like some older inventory. Well, and it's stuff that you picked up forever ago. So it's not really crazy high dollar sales. It's all the little stuff. And if you kind of priced it to be, competitive, and it's something that we did free shipping on, well, we calculated the free shipping based on what it was back then. Now with the shipping increase, it's like, well, now it's like, okay, well, are we just even breaking even? We're not even making profit on this because
shipping. Because every time it goes up, you're going to see that. Like, free shipping, bring the price of your item down, and then either make it your business policy that you can like bulk change, or because even like when you put an item on sale, it's going to put your shipping on sale. Yep. When you make an offer, you're going to have to make an offer on the shipping also.
Right.
Yeah.
Don't quit building it in. I've completely quit building it into anything. And I only recently started trying to build it in, like what you're talking about, because you want to be competitive and you want to show up when people search and then filter by free shipping.
Yep. Yep.
Because
certain items,
people filter and you're not even going to show up, but you know what? You can't do that anymore because of things like these increase. Because you're right, Brittany, when you calculated that in, when the shipping was only going to cost you $10 and now it's going to cost you $17.
Exactly.
And you're like, did I just pay you to take this?
Yes. Yeah. That's what we were like, I don't like this at all. So it's like, do we have to go back and assess all of the listings in the store to make sure that when stuff sells, now we're not going to lose money?
I'm like you guys have 1,200, I have 1,400 listings. And I'm like, what am I going to have to do? Like you say, go back through every single one. And I did get some information that you could go back and change your business practices because, for instance, I have some items listed that they will ship via padded flat rate. I would expect that they would have adjusted that with the price adjustment of a padded flat rate, and they didn't. They kept it at $8. And so now it costs me 50 cents more than that to mail every single one. I'm losing 50 cents automatically.
Right.
And that's before eBay takes their 13% off of the shipping.
Yeah.
Right.
So I'm losing like 80 cents, maybe $1 off of shipping off of every single one. But I got advice that you can go in on your business policies and change that $8 to $8.50, and it'll change it on all of them.
Yeah.
I haven't tried it in my own store yet, but I definitely need to because I have a lot of things that ship via padded flat rate. And I'm so sick and tired of losing that 49 cents.
Yeah, no, that's good to know because you would just assume like if they know across the board, like if it's, a flat rate or whatever for it.
That's the whole reason I made it a policy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It was because I thought every time it increased, I won't have to touch these.
And then our other ugly was it's kind of an ugly. Is when you have to call your wife because the agreed upon budget for the weekend exceeded your actual monthly budget in 24 hours. We spent more in the last 24 hours than we do in a month.
Yeah. But we're like, it's an investment.
The good news is you don't need to source right now, so just don't source the rest of them.
Very true.
Yes.
We have plenty of work to do this week, but the good of it is it was ugly. I had to do that. I had this you ever gone? Everybody's done it. I'll ask the chat too. You gone somewhere, you knew the price you were ready to do, and then they hit you with an uppercut. Like they just hit you bad, but you see something that, I mean, we're gonna triple our money. Like there's no doubt about it, which is really cool. But when you just have to pay up a little more than you want to. And the reason we did it, we went back to the estate sale today and she goes, 12 more people came the rest of that day wanting what you waited in line to get. Like, because I knew it was going to be a great item. I mean, I've seen it. We've sold it before. I
can't wait to see your video about what this is. You guys be sure to subscribe to their channel so you know what it is too, because I don't want you to tell us here.
No. And
you gotta wait.
And that was the cool part is it was the, where the rubber meets the road. And you call I called my wife after I already told the lady an offer.
After the deal was done.
I was like, hey, so don't be mad at me. That's when she knows it's weird.
I was like, well, he bought it and he spent more than we talked about. So there's nothing I can do about it now.
what a good wife.
Yeah. But it was one of those things that it was, I say it was ugly because you don't want to always have to do that. But the good is if you put the work in to follow and don't let it sit in a tote, find the items that will make really good money. These items are good for this season. I'll say that. They're good for this season. They're hard to find. I drove 2 hours and I waited for 6 hours to be first in line at this estate sale. So I was not going to leave without it. So
nice.
But it was pretty fun.
Jennifer Hayes wants to know, did eBay fix all those issues with the app? No, Jennifer, they have not fixed anything as far as I'm concerned. And my biggest issue that I'm having on Android is the messaging when you go to message someone and bringing up like 17 windows. And sometimes you can't even message them back until you get to your PC. So that's a big problem. Just use the medium flat rate. It's that crazy, only free shipping on medium or on flat rate. I only use shipping business policies. I use Pirate Ship and they now have UPS. I heard someone else say that and I got on Pirate Ship to use UPS the other day and it's not there for me.
It's giving me the same. Well, UPS is on there for us. Yeah. We have seen that.
Not for me. Why is it not for me?
They're actually offering it on so when we go to like purchase label, it throws us there, I guess because they're new, the UPS price first, even before USPS. But
no, mine was just USPS.
My only issue that I've had with Pirate Ship, it's really good on the heavy small boxes because eBay's discount is still comparable with Pirate Ship.
Yeah.
Yeah, for most things, eBay has an even heftier discount. And then, but cubic rate, like you're going to mail 5 candles in a tiny little box. They're heavy.
You're going to make
you mail a
money,
brick or something. Christy says all of her padded flat rates are $9 now. You can bulk edit price increase everything 50 cents to $1 for the shipping increase if you want to cover the extra. I'm going to get in there and do it, you guys. I have over 1,800 listings, and I would die if I had to change those individually. I have never offered free shipping and changed my policies when they up the prices. I need to remember to do that every time. This is a great series. You need a separate channel just for thrifting subjects. Also, I couldn't find you on Facebook, so I could message you. If you were talking about me, I'm not on Facebook. That's why. People aren't nice on Facebook. But message me, DM me on Instagram. I'm reseller Rachel Strickland on Instagram, where people are nice. And you guys are Flips Finds Fun on Instagram as well, right? Yep. Okay. It throws UPS first if UPS is cheaper.
If it's cheaper.
Okay, so here's mine. I was trying to mail a 4-pound, 8-ounce box, 17 by 19 by 6, and I went to Pirate Ship because I was only getting like $15 quotes, and I thought that this is crazy. Go to Pirate Ship, and it would only give me USPS as an option. So you guys gotta tell me why Pirate Ship is not giving me a UPS.
I didn't have to do anything to get it.
Does Pirate Ship have something against Missouri? Like, is that what it is?
Is this a beta program and they're only giving it out to people that like use it all the time? Because I don't use it a ton. I mainly use it if like I mail my folks something they're out of state. You know, if I mail something outside of eBay, I'll use it. Yeah. Also, you could make a lot of money if you had a separate thrifting channel. It would be popular. Yeah, I mean, we include a lot of thrifting stuff on both of our channels. Yep. They probably have more thrifting and like real live and in-person stuff than I do. I will only ship internationally through Pirate Ship. They protect you. I only use GSP for international.
Yeah.
You have calculated shipping. The prices should reflect the increase.
Yep. I don't do calculated on a lot of stuff that might be an obscure box. So like I just sold a golf push cart, for instance. When it folds down, it's still a very large item. But I know if somebody in California looks at it, it's going to quote them $167 to ship it. When I know with my eBay discount, that's the only reason I don't use calculated a lot, is because I knew it wasn't going to cost more. So I sized the box down and I quote them about $40. You know, I know I can get it FedEx or UPS for $40. So that's the only reason, you know, with calculated, because it gives people, depending on where they're shopping from, really weird quotes.
You're right. And it will give them sometimes so high of a rate that there's not a chance that they're going to buy it from you.
Right.
I'm not sure how to pronounce that. I'm sorry. Instagram is really the only place outside of YouTube. And I'm surprised that YouTube doesn't allow messaging, but they don't, that I'm aware of.
It'll come. I mean, they're doing shorts now and they're doing community posts. It'll come soon.
Yeah.
International standard delivery is greater than
over GSP.
GSP.
I've heard a lot of people swear by the international standard.
Yeah.
I've heard good things, and I've heard that it's a better rate for the buyer. So, you know, I was reluctant to pursue GSP in the beginning, and so I don't want to totally write off international standard way that I tried to write off GSP. So, you know, maybe I'll try it with a few items that I think would be good candidates and see how it works. I don't know if you have to fill out customs and things. I'd like to be maybe aimed in the direction of a good channel that has a good video about that or something.
Yeah. I don't know if he has any specific videos on it, but I know a big advocate for it is Troy over at Mountain Man Treasure. He like talks about it all the time and is constantly selling stuff through international. So he probably has just a lot of good advice on how it works and what to do.
I agree 100%. He's working with a program to where he has his items listed on I think it's 7 eBay platforms across the world. So his stuff is listed in the UK. It's listed over in Asia. And he does everything outside of GSP. I don't know exactly where it is, but I know he's got videos kind of talking about it.
Yeah.
I never use global shipping. Farm Girl Scavenger, Noelle says. They open and repack and many things get broken. Also, I have a flat rate business shipping policies with international using Pirate Ship. Using calculated is a good way. But if it gets broken, I mean, since your responsibility was to get it to Kentucky, you're still in the clear.
Right.
Yes, 100%, Noelle. The great thing about GSP is we've had stuff get to the buyer broken, and I've had to do nothing. I've had to send a message to eBay when the refund request comes through and go, you guys ship this.
Yeah.
And we have never had to pay on anything that's gone to another country when it had that issue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see. GSP is easiest. That's important to me. Me too. I mean, you know, my stuff isn't for everyone. You know, you can walk into Walmart and buy a Time and True bag for $12, or you can go spend $30,000 on an Hermes bag. The Hermes isn't for everyone, but they enjoy making handcrafted bags. You know, paying through GSP and buying my stuff isn't for everyone, but the stuff I sell is like one-off items. I sell stuff they don't make anymore. So I mean, I had a buyer in Canada pay almost the price of these little cassette tapes as what I was selling them for. Guess what they don't make anymore? Those little cassette tapes.
Exactly.
So my items aren't for everyone, but I don't sell the same stuff you could go on Wish and buy, you know, with free shipping. I'm not trying to be Walmart. I have zero desire to be the cheapest seller to the pickiest buyer. It's so much cheaper for the buyer. My international sales skyrocketed after ditching. Again, I guess it depends on.
Yeah, Dalton, like I'll have to check into that because I was like, if you do sell a lot of stuff international, it would be good to see what customers you're not turning away, you know?
Yeah. I mean, because I feel like we sell a really good amount through GSP.
We do.
So, I mean, if
it could increase,
you know,
could be even more than maybe
people like the stuff that we sell.
Yeah.
It could be more.
I use the eBay International most of the time, but I think some of mine are still GSP. I've had no issues with either of them. That's good to hear. You are talented separate channel. Thanks for
those requests. Now they're commands.
Trevor, international standard delivery is just as simple as ISP. All right. You know what, Dalton, you need to make some reels or some videos and educate us on the GSP.
Just a matter of learning it, and then once you learn it, you're going to be like, oh,
it'll be second nature.
So hard. Yeah, it's just
and we'll be like, why did we never do this before? Using calculated shipping is a good way to lose sales. Yeah, I agree with you. They just quote so high because they don't count your discount. Pirate Ship covers you 100%, just way better than global. And I like everyone here that's, you know, chiming in because it goes back to what Josh said, like, do what's best for your business.
Right.
Hermes for me, that's right. You have to stand in line to even be invited to go in the store, to even be invited to buy an Hermes bag. That's the type of business I want to run. The difference is that GSP builds tariffs in and all that international. The buyer's responsible for those. So it probably works out cheaper for them.
Yep.
I gotcha. I like that. I don't have to fill out customs forms. I went from $3,000 a month to $8,000 a month when I went from Pirate Ship and flat rate shipping policies. I have talked about this. So I was blue in the face. We'll be looking for your video about it, girl. I have a vid on ISD that I made a long time ago. We need to make a better one. I agree with you. You know, sometimes I want to point people at a video and I'm like, golly, I made that so long ago. Like, I need to make an update.
Yeah.
Oh, that's true.
Yes, I'm GSP.
GSP.
Are you going to make us? I don't know what you mean by a separate channel, because on both of our channels we do definitely thrift on our channels. This is just like a person, like a private, a live, a separate live. I should say.
It's just one aspect of your channel.
When this ends, just watch the next suggested video on Rachel Strickland's
channel.
And
it's probably going to be like a thrift haul or something like that. We do, and they like yard sale and thrifts a lot more, like I say, on their channel than even I need to film more out in the field, but you guys are great about that because you have GoPro and all that.
Yeah.
Keep in mind, guys, you pay fees and such on shipping charges, so a lot of the time that discount will be eaten up by fees. You're 100%
very true.
Right. Yeah. Very true. Yeah, when I sold 2 huge pieces to the same buyer the other day, and she paid $70 combined in shipping, and it ended up being $20. And I was like, I'm pretty sure I can't charge her $70 if it was only $20. So let me add up what it actually costed me, then refund her the difference, because I wasn't going to refund her $50. So I was like, well, I spent $10 in packing materials because it was a huge box.
Yeah.
I spent $10 in packing materials. eBay is going to take 13% of this 70. So I calculated that in as well. And I was like, and took me a while to pack it. There's another $5. And so I ended up giving her $30 back, which I thought was fair. I didn't even get a thank you message back though. I messaged her. I was like, I'm going to refund you $30 of your shipping because I was able to combine your order into one box and ship it cheaper. Here's a $30 refund. And I didn't even hear thank you.
I will say, I feel like we've done that a couple of times when it's come out significantly cheaper.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think we've heard anything from the buyer either. So I'm like, okay, maybe I'll just keep the money because clearly you're not even thankful.
Thank you for the packing tip. Yeah, thank you.
Because at the end of the day, they're going to be like, oh, thank you so much. But then I'm like, well, I mean, they paid that price and bought it in the first place. So maybe they don't really care.
All right, Rachel, creative idea to answer Drew. It's going to be a tater chip video. Yes, but she can start by going to the store, buying a bag of chips, opening it, taking one chip out, and doing the photos again. Like from shelf to box. Like, oh, silly. Man. But yeah, now you brought up so many good points, Rachel. It's been so cool because like I even love the chat. And yes, to reiterate again, if you want to sell 99-cent items, free shipping every day because that helps you sleep at night, do it. Like, it's your business. You are the CEO. Unless you are being paid to be told how to do it on eBay. Yeah. I was like, I know people that are doing Macari and they're crushing me in sales.
Yeah.
Like, go for it. Like, that's awesome.
100%.
It's so unique to everybody. That's what's so cool.
And if you do literally want to order stuff off of Wish and that's what you want to sell, I'm happy for you. You could private label the crap out of some cheap Chinese plastic if that makes you happy. And if that makes you happy, guess what? I'm happy for you. And you know what? Finding like good vintage glass stuff or metal stuff or leather or wood is what makes me happy. And other people are going to be like, Rachel, why do you want that dirty old stuff? Like, different strokes for different folks, I guess. I mean, everybody loves something different. So I did get a thank you and it made it worth it. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Share those stories, Nikki and Gary. We need that. We need to hear those.
Right.
Yeah. It's nice to hear thank you. So let me tell y'all about my ugly thing that happened.
I want to hear it.
Okay, so my ugly actually happened tonight. We were at dinner with some friends and I looked down and I just mailed out these boots that were listed forever. They were these vintage, and I mean like old vintage, probably from the 80s, leather Justin boots.
Mm-hmm.
And they were a size like 5.5. So when I say they'd been listed a while, you understand they had been listed a while. They were like a little dried and cracked, and they were like a navy blue, but beautiful old Justin boots. Anyway, I took a best offer because they had been listed so long. I mailed them out this week, and I think that might have unfortunately been one of the items that was so expensive to ship out. I don't even want to look now because I got a message during dinner that the bottom of the shoe cracked when she put it on. And like I would show you, but I have the Wi-Fi turned off on my phone. So she puts the shoe on, and I don't know how many of you guys have had this happen, but you sell older shoes, and when someone puts them on, maybe the sole separates.
Yeah.
And you didn't try these shoes on because they're not your size, because they're your shoes. And these, in this case, they were, really, really old, like I say, from the 80s, and they cracked when they put them on. And you know what? I would have already refunded them, but I jumped on here as soon as we got back from dinner. So I don't want them to open a case and we have to refund them that way. These people keep the shoes. I don't need a pair of broken shoes here. Like,
throw them in the trash. It's okay. Like, sorry.
I made a mistake. And this week when I was thrifting shoes, I was so proud of myself. I was bending them.
Oh yeah.
Every which way. I was twisting them. I was Joey Bada Binging them and scratching on them.
I was gonna say shout out Drew, Profit Monsters, like showing you the twist and shout.
Oh yeah. Drew's always doing the same thing.
Sniff test, put your nose in it. Like
like you have to be thorough when you're investigating old shoes because they they crack in places that you just wouldn't expect. And sometimes they don't crack during your ownership of them. It's after you put them. And I've pulled shoes out of my own closet, guys, because I'm like, okay, I bought these 7 years ago, never wore them. I got a listings on eBay. Well, guess what, Rachel? You bought these things 7 years ago and you never wore them. Do you think they're in good condition? So it's ugly because I have to refund the buyer. And like I say, I think since it was a pair of boots, I probably probably paid $17 in shipping. It's okay. It happens. It's a cost of business. I totally screwed up. And so I'm going to eat the cost. And but the lesson that I want to tell everyone in the chat is, especially with shoes, flex them this way. Try to pull them. No, don't be too aggressive, but try to pull them away from the sole, twist them and turn them. Do this while you're in the thrift store as well, because it's likely that someone had the same epiphany moment I did going through their closet. I bought these 7 years ago. Let's just give them away.
Yep.
And I have had Clarks deteriorate when I run my finger on them, just like a pair of shape ups would. And I have heard people say that about Danskos even. That the foam ones just deteriorate. So it doesn't matter how high quality. For those of you that don't know, Justin is a very good all leather quality.
Yeah.
But leather cracks when it's dry and no attention is paid to it for, years or decades.
Super good info.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, have you guys ever had shoes arrive to the buyer and the sole break off? It's so embarrassing.
One of the first pair, and a great friend, she's probably still watching, Rebecca. She said she couldn't chat right now, but she is watching. She is thoroughly watching on a drive to Massachusetts. So she gave us a pair of boots. They were more like hiking construction boots. And she gave them to me for free and was like, hey, try to sell these. I was so excited. No, that was my buddy Mike, his dad. Doug had these really nice boots. And I remember he was just like, hey, did you sell those boots yet? And I had to be like, yeah, man, $40, like super good. So the guy showed me the photo. He had the entire sole separate in 2 different hands. And same thing. He had these old work boots in his garage. They had probably dry rotted.
Yep.
And I was just
that's the perfect word, shoes, dry rot.
And I said, that's the message I sent back. Sorry, here's your money. Here's $5 more to throw the trash bag away so you don't have to think about the shoes. And I felt so bad, but when I used to let those things, we had a old story. We call it, do you have a cursed item, Rachel? Do you have a cursed item yet? That
just keeps coming back to me.
Oh yeah.
Or keeps getting canceled or anything. I don't think I've had anything that I'm just like, no, I don't think so.
We had a $300 Japanese karaoke machine.
That's pretty specific.
A high-end piece of equipment. Sold. Returned in 2 days. Bought. Canceled. Sold. Returned in 4 days. Bought. Canceled. Sold. And then tried to open up a fraudulent purchase charge and tell us we were gonna go to court because their child purchased it. Went through all and I was just like, I want to burn this thing. I want to throw it in the trash.
Yeah, we're like, if it comes back time, we're done.
eBay, thank you, eBay, if you're watching right now. But
they watch my channel. They're subscribers.
They sent in a request. I messaged eBay back and I said, it's already been mailed. This lady's saying it's a fraudulent whatever. And then it showed me a few days later and I sent that to eBay. I was like, it shows delivered. It is now on her property. I will take it back. But she's telling me her child purchased a Japanese model karaoke machine. Well, that's pretty specific.
Some of us didn't accidentally order a Japanese karaoke machine when we were children.
Right. But it was awarded in our favor and we did not get it back after the 5th sale.
Yeah, it was.
Of that item.
I was like, never again.
5th time's a charm is what I always heard. Noelle had eBay award something in her favor as well. So I had a return open for a $50 order for damaged in shipping. She proceeded to tell me it wasn't damaged. She just didn't think the money. She didn't think for the money. She was happy. So I called my concierge and she did not get the return. Score for me.
That's good. That's great.
Well, she shouldn't have been so dishonest and forthcoming with the truth at the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And shout out to the Hoogs. We had another good item. One of the Scream masks purchased GSP overseas with the message that they needed to cancel directly after payment. And I started to do the, oh, great, one of those again. And she goes, no. I'm going to try this thing that the Hoogs talked about.
Okay.
When you get the cancel request, don't respond for a few hours. Lo and behold, 3 hours later, she goes, never mind. It was something about she didn't have the funds.
Didn't
Something
have the
came
money.
up.
Yeah.
And then she goes, never mind. I decided I can go ahead and pay for it. I just wanted it here before my boyfriend's birthday.
Yeah, my boyfriend or somebody or whatever is gonna.
And so she posted it on Instagram. She's like, thank you, Hoogs.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't respond immediately, and they changed their mind and took the item.
Yeah, which theirs I think was unintentionally because they're part-time. So it's like, oh, they're at work. They can't immediately respond to messages. Mm-hmm. So I think theirs is unintentionally not responding right away. But I was like, I'm not going to immediately cancel like I normally would. I'm going to let this sit for a minute and let them stew on it. And it worked. So
no, I didn't see the Hoogs say that, but that's interesting that you say that because just this week I had someone make an offer on one of the dolls from my bulk doll buy, and they offered $15 with $5 shipping. And then like the next day, maybe she was like, I didn't mean to buy this one. This wasn't the one that I meant to order, And I'm just petty when people do that. And I'm like, yeah, I'll get to you whenever. Like I have several days to respond to you. So that's the reason I didn't get back to her. And then she paid for it.
Right. Mm-hmm. Right. So I think sometimes people get that buyer's remorse and stuff. But I think if we don't respond the way they want us to justify their action, I think people somewhat still have this inkling of, I need to be responsible for the decision I made.
Perhaps. And eBay is also messaging them saying, when are you going to pay for this? When are you going to pay for this? When are you going to pay for this?
Mm-hmm.
But it did really, I mean, it was a really good tactic rather than just responding quickly,
If they pay, I will override the cancellation and send it to them. They never send it back because I do not offer free returns, just saying. Yeah, me neither, Noelle. Shout out to those not, she says eBay watches our videos. eBay watches all my videos. I'm like their liaison to the reselling community.
Right.
If no one knew that, they were looking for specifically a 3,500 subscriber channel.
Yep.
The Hood Stay works every time.
Yeah, I was like, I'm gonna give it a try. That's gonna be my method from now on. Because I would get so frustrated because normally that's how it happens. They buy it, and literally as soon as it says payment received, I get a message that says that they want to cancel it. They didn't mean to purchase it, and I'm like, what do you mean you didn't?
And why did you just pay for it?
Exactly. Right. I'm like, you didn't. So I'm like, whatever. That's gonna be my method every time. I'm gonna let them stew on it for a little bit, and let them send the message. Never mind. I'll take it.
Shout out Connor and Desiree.
Yeah.
Yeah. And honestly, they have 5 days to pay. Why don't you have a day or two to respond to their stupid cancellation request?
Exactly.
I'm not trying to be mean about it. I just, I don't get it. But
when you're dealing with a lot of people, it's just like,
yeah.
But the good outweighs the bad. So
it does. Much. So speaking of good, Jen, help me out there if you don't care. So let me block this real quick. Okay. Yep. So tell me, Josh and Brittany, something that you guys are looking into, looking forward to.
So I am the terrible person that has to write down the 15 ideas I come up with every single day. But something big I'm looking forward to is, because we're in a good season of life, we have been working on a really good schedule. Sales are increasing. Yes, it's because it's Q4, but it's also because consistency is happening.
Mm-hmm.
I have a really good idea for I'm not going to do another reseller bracket on YouTube, but I have been devoting more time to editing videos and trying to get a schedule on YouTube again. But I just think of these weird, crazy, fun ideas, and so I have another one because we've been working on our branding. Yes, with the coffee, yes, with all the things we're kind of working on. We're turning this more into a business and a brand rather than just a business hobby. So kind of the next season of life, that's what we're really working on the business side. And then just our family schedule is really getting into a groove, and that's super fun. Super pumped. I'm super excited.
I'm excited to see what Q4 holds, because last year was kind of like its own thing. 2020 was, it's obviously different than this year still, but I'm excited to see what it looks like now, how good it was last year with really mainly you dedicating time into it part-time. Now it's both of us full-time, dedicating it just to eBay and reselling. So I'm excited to see what Q4 holds and what that will look like, because I think it's going to be really awesome.
So I'm also excited for a lot of the same reasons. And like Q4 is like, it's like a reseller new year. You know how happy people get in the new year and they're like, oh, it's a new year, new me. And I feel like that's how we are. Like when it comes to Q4, you're like all these goals and let me sit down to a black piece of paper, like let me like when you open up a fresh notebook or you're playing, you're like, what's about to happen? That's like reseller Q4, right? Do you agree?
Yep.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And I tell people, like, if you're trying to increase sales, make your photos better, make a goal. Don't even stop it in the next 3 months, all the way through February. Make it a goal to push on the gas pedal a little bit more. This is your time to make money. This is the highest time for expendable income to be spent.
Yeah.
Like, if you want to pick a time to hit the gas pedal, do it now.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know that like personally, there's only so much that you guys can share, but I'm excited for your adoption journey. And like, I have enough, friends and loved ones who have adopted that. Again, I understand there's only so much you can share and pictures and faces and things like that. But like, we're all praying for you guys that everything goes so smoothly, and super excited for you in that regard. So I can't even imagine with everything reselling related and YouTube related that's going on, that you have something that big going on in your family is huge.
It's definitely, I mean, it's kind of been a whirlwind, but because I think that we have been so obedient to what God has called us to do, this was 100% all of him. He was like, you said you're available and I'm asking you to do it. So are you going to do it?
Yeah.
And we said yes. So through that, I think he's just blessed us with, so far, I mean, we're only a couple weeks in, but so far it's been, I think emotionally an incredibly easy transition. It's definitely been a lot more to take on another kid, obviously,
Are your boys close in age?
Yes. Yeah. 3 and 5.
They're close also in fighting and in love. Like
they're like built-in brothers already.
Brothers. Absolutely.
Love it.
Yeah, they're each other's best friends.
They tattle on each other and then defend each other. It's the weirdest thing. You're like, how are you doing this?
I can tell you, like, my boys are 10 years apart, but anytime that they want to gang up on me, I don't even care, because that means that they've agreed on something.
Yes.
And I'm like, if they're agreeing in their minds on something, like, I don't even care if it's ganging up on me. Like, just the camaraderie that they will have with that, like, I don't know. I just think it's great. So something that I'm looking forward to, because I've tried to end the show on something we're looking forward to, because we do talk in the middle part of the show about a lot of negative. In the next 4 weeks, I will be able to buy my car. So I'm along on the ride. July 23rd was when I posted, trading in my death pile for a car, and it's been,
that is so awesome.
And we're trying to sell the one that's not really working. I think I'm just going to haul it off to auction, because I don't really want anyone to test drive it. I don't know what's going to happen, but again, with you, like, believing that God's going to open up exactly what he wants me to have when he wants me to. And I don't know. I'm excited about that. So that's something I'm looking forward to. And I'm going to be taking everyone along on the ride. And I just, like, in my mind, I have this vision of the video where I'm like counting out the money. We did that on my Lincoln. On my last car, we were able to buy it with cash, because we just don't believe in taking out loans for this.
Right.
And like, there's nothing like that, taking money that you saved up and that you worked hard for, and, taking it into a place, especially when they don't maybe expect you, like, I don't think I'm super young, but they don't necessarily expect me to walk in with cash to buy a car.
Very true. And that's something I commend you on. Like, I mean, we saw the chat. You're doing a great job on YouTube, Rachel. If you weren't doing a good job in being engaging, we wouldn't see stuff like that in the chat. That's how you're doing something good. I always take that as a praise. I'm like, the fact that we attract bots or whatever they are, it means you're doing good. But also for your reselling, you promote goals and you talk about them and you keep them in front of you. Whether people in the chat are if you're following the Bible and God and things like that, he specifically tells us he can do more than we can hope or imagine. He can blow our minds. I challenge people that there's a part in that verse that says we are responsible to hope and imagine. If we don't set goals, if we don't go before and make our request, even as crazy as they may seem. He says, I can't blow your mind unless you give me your mind.
Yeah.
Like, I need you to, like, I don't care if it's the goal to say you're gonna pay for a date night. If that's your business goal, make it your business goal. But I love that you're doing that. I love that you accomplish it, because that's the cool part, is succeeding.
When you actually accomplish the goals. Yeah.
And we love for just promoting and piggybacking people that are setting good goals and knocking them out of the park. Because if we don't set goals, it's just we're aimlessly wandering in a desert, you know?
I know. And like, I want to do a goal setting video soon, because I've had a lot of people ask me about setting goals. And like, in my mind, the difference in a goal and a dream is a plan.
Yeah.
And I will reverse engineer whatever my goal is until I figure out how to get there. Like, if there's a ladder and I know the goal is to get up on the roof and I'm down here, all I have to figure out is the ladder. Like, I don't have to jump. True. If I thought that I had to jump up there, that would seem hard. I don't need to do that. I just need to figure out the ladder. I need to figure out step by step how to get there, and be patient enough to understand that, again, it's not going to be a jump. It's going to be a climb.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, absolutely. And like, get where you need to be, but have the patience to get there, and have like the audacity, like you said, to actually dream and actually bring your goals forward, and and speak them out loud or write them down. That's a big thing for me. So I know we ran past 10 o'clock, but I still want to encourage you guys. My friend Horizon Picks starts a live auction on his channel at 10 o'clock. So those of you that are still left in the chat as we're concluding, I would encourage you to go head over to Horizon Picks. It's just the same as what it sounds. There's no trick spelling there. Horizon Picks. Here on YouTube. And, you know, if nothing else, if you're not going to buy anything in the auction, just pop in and show him some love and tell him Rachel Strickland sent you over. He challenged me the other day to a Lego off and said that he dared to say that he had more Lego than I do. And adorable. And I would issue the same challenge to this chat as I did that chat. There is no one in this chat that owns more Lego than this household does. This year alone, I probably bought close to 100 pounds of loose Lego, and we own them. I do not.
I don't want to own any more Lego.
I want to own all of the Lego. I would buy yours if you would selling them. But, we're so glad that you guys stopped by. And Jennifer just posted Horizon Picks. Thank you so much, Jennifer. You're in value to me. I'm gonna go buy you a shake after this one, because I feel like you worked overtime here.
She did. You were crushing it, Jen.
Let me tell you, don't take anything personal or anything serious that happened in the chat, because they are, just as Josh said, bots, just people to show up to try to incite anger, and that's not what we're about. We're a joyful people, and we exude joy. So. Great show with awesome people. Wonderful show. Goal is to find another ladder, because the old one broke. You know what?
There you go, Annie.
Good point. If your ladder breaks and you fall and you bust your
time for another one.
Get a new one.
Get another ladder. Figure out another way. That one didn't work. I love that.
So good.
So, yeah, we're so glad that you guys came to hang out with us for a long chat. And God bless y'all. If you're watching this in replay, we really appreciate you hanging out this long.
Thanks so much, Rachel.
Yes, thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
We appreciate y'all so much. And God bless you. I'm going to say what I always say. You guys can say it with me if you want. Treat your business like your
business.
Bye, guys.
Bye, everyone.